bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons at 12:15 and 4:15 for our Cup Check-In. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Adam Gold talks with hockey's best past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup Check-In on 99.9 The Fan. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Come to Carolina Ale House Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs, or visit carolinaalehouse.com/Canes.
Adam Gold and I am in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I always joked, gutter helmets, can I get one that fits my head? They don't go on your head, they go on your house, and they make sure that you never have to clean your gutters again. Who invented this? This is a great product.
Well, I don't know who invented it, but it is a great product. It can go on the existing gutters. If you need new gutters, we can also put it on new gutters, too. We can take care of any wood rot or anything behind the gutters, and we can take care of any possible problem that we may run into when removing those gutters, because oftentimes they haven't been working for a long time. You may have rotten soffits, rotten fascias, rotten gable ends. So we'll take a look at that when we take the gutters off. And the gutter helmet is going to go over the first shingle, under the second, and it allows enough surface tension where the water clings onto it, water rolls into the gutter, debris falls off to the ground.
That sounds better than getting in the bucket of a tractor. I'm just saying. 800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. Over the years, I'm often asked why we made the choice to become one of the only mortgage companies in the state to provide loans without closing costs as a primary source of funding. And my response is always the same. How did closing costs ever become a thing? Who was that first person who asked for a lower rate, heard it would cost $15,000 to save $50 a month, smiled and said, that'd be great? Recently, we're noticing a trend of large national lenders quoting low rates but with a high APR. This is the definition of what happened when that first person asked for a lower rate but ignored how much it would cost. Quotes today are a two-part process. It's not just the rate, but what are the closing costs? At Miller Lending, we simply don't believe you'll keep your loan long enough to realize additional savings. So before you throw away thousands of dollars in needless fees, pick up the phone and call Miller Lending today. 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
If a carpet refresh is on your to-do list, now's the time to check it off, because right now you can take advantage of our Buy More, Save More savings. The more you buy, the more you save, up to 15% on select special order carpet purchases. Plus, the Home Depot Home Services can handle the installation for you. All that's left is to enjoy that stunning new carpet and step into softness. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Offer valid April 17th through May 4th. Receive up to 15% off special select order carpet purchases. Minimum purchase required. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh. Did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
American Parkway, Madison.
Your home for Duke basketball. WCMC HD2, HD3 Holly Springs, WDNC AM Durham, and WCLY AM Raleigh. The Buzz.
From Studio One on the campus of the worldwide headquarters of ESPN. And from Studio Q in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
The Golden State Warriors 95, the Houston Rockets 85. The Warriors have home court. Anytime in a playoff series, when you start on the road, you want at least a split, and they've got that.
We were up 20 in the second half, and nobody was really happy on the bench. The composure matters because then you can make plays on the stretch. Whether it goes your way or not, you kind of rely on that.
Since we got Jimmy, we feel very confident about our defense. We got a lot of smart players. Draymond anchors it. So we feel really good about our ability to get stops against anybody.
And I love myself. Surviving and advancing. Well, in game one for the Warriors, they survived. They now have home court advantage after getting the dub over the Rockets 95-85. Tim Roy on 95-7. The game is the sound as we come in. It's Joe and Q on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. We're also on your smart speaker, presented by Progressive Insurance. My brother, Joe Fortenbaugh, is back. He's refreshed. He's looking good. He's glowing. He's feeling good. Okay, maybe not all that. Joe, how you doing, my man? Welcome back.
Those are all lies. Those are all lies. I'm not at all feeling refreshed. I don't know if you have young children and you take them to Disney World, it's not so much a vacation. Like a couple years ago, I went and I climbed Mount Rainier in the summer. That was more relaxing than this was. I'm not relaxed. I'm not refreshed. Financially, I'm in ruin. I'm not here because I want to be. I'm here because I have to be. And my retirement age got pushed back about 6 years thanks to this trip. But all in all, it is good to be back with you. You are in Wisconsin. You're already locked in for the draft.
Yes, I am, man. You know me, I get locked in. The draft is my favorite time of year. I'm actually in the Fine Studios right now, ESPN Milwaukee, Good Karma brand. Shout out to them. They rolled out the red carpet. I had my picture on the wall. I walked in the building and my picture's on the wall. It's like, welcome to Milwaukee. I was like, wow. They ought to do this in Vegas. I mean, every day I'm there. Why don't they put my picture on the wall there?
So in the place where you work consistently every day, no picture anywhere to be found. But you show up in Wisconsin out of nowhere, and your picture's on the wall, and everyone's celebrating you.
Last night, Toronto also last night. It does not mean Winnipeg on Saturday. It does not mean, however, that you have a 74% chance of winning that series. It actually might be higher. If you wanted to tell me today, based on what we watched in Game 1, that the Hurricanes have better than a 74% chance of winning this series, I will buy it. It was one-way traffic. But I hate standing upon historical data as though it means anything today. And I will go back to what I said now 21 years ago. This is not about the prediction, because I really didn't think it would happen. But when Boston trailed the Yankees 3-0 in the American League Championship Series, everybody said it was over because no team has ever come back from. I'm like, well, so what? Are we sitting here saying it's never going to happen? We would never say that, because never, long time. No 16 had ever beaten a 1. Those numbers are just, this is what has happened. It does not mean that it will never happen. I think Carolina's in pretty good shape in the series, but we have a long way to go. And there's another, I think, a very important saying when it comes to series. The series doesn't begin until the road team wins a game or the home team loses. Either way. Then we're in. So we're a long way from that. We're at least until Friday, or maybe Tuesday, if New Jersey plays a good game. All right, before we start, can we get the breaking news sounder? Frankly, completely blown over by this news today. Never saw this coming. This was, I think, a 1 in 100 chance. Cooper Flagg declared for the NBA draft today.
He did.
I never, ever, ever thought that he would leave with 3 years of eligibility left.
Mm-hmm.
All of those relationships, all of the championships to win at Duke, to come back and enact vengeance upon the college basketball world for conspiring to have Duke beaten in the national semifinal when at one point we're up 100 over Houston.
I have his words of him declaring this if you'd like him
Oh,
to tell us.
let's hear Cooper Flagg.
Duke fans, my teammates, the brotherhood, and everybody that was along for this journey. It was an incredible year, probably the best year of my life, and I have so much gratitude, and I feel so blessed for all the opportunities that I was given. Duke has always been a dream for me, but I'm excited to announce that I'll be entering my name into the 2025 NBA Draft. Today is just the beginning, but I have the brotherhood with me for life.
That was it. Good.
There you go.
John Shire also said something. We'll let you hear that in a little bit. He entered his name into the draft. It's like sort of when Cedric Diggory put his name into the Goblet of Fire, except that I'm pretty sure that we know who's going to be the first pick in the draft. It will be Cooper Flagg. Real quick about Cooper. I have been here since 98, so I have been up close with this Duke team. We've watched every game, blah, blah, blah. But I covered ACC basketball before then. So my coverage of ACC basketball extends back to my time at the University of Maryland. He's the best player I have ever seen at Duke. Flat out best player I have ever seen at Duke. When you consider that this was his only season, his freshman season, and he was, as everybody reminds you, a young freshman, as opposed to an old freshman, which does sound like an oxymoron. And the comparisons in terms of what he was as a player, for me, are Grant Hill, and we can stop there. As a freshman, Hill wasn't nearly as developed as Cooper Flagg. Not even close. Hill wasn't a great shooter as a freshman. Cooper Flagg, other than, maybe from 15 feet fading away with the clock winding down in the national semifinals, was a great shooter. Most complete player I have seen at Duke in however long I've been covering the league. And if you were putting up an all-starting five of Duke, he'd be on it. We could sit here all day long and decide who else would be on it, but Cooper Flagg would be on it. The only comparison as a freshman would be Zion Williamson, who was such a freak of nature athletically and was a phenomenon because he was awesome to watch. Zion's game, while advanced and also worthy of being the first overall pick, wasn't nearly as developed as Cooper Flagg's. The athleticism you cannot match. I don't know that we've seen anything like Zion Williamson in college. But to me, Flagg was the best player that I have ever seen at Duke. And he did that in 1 year. Didn't get him a title, but, that was more an overall, yes, he missed that shot, but it was really an overall team failure and extends to all reaches of the team. But that was the biggest piece of No Crap the magazine ever. Cooper Flagg declares for the NBA draft. Tyrese Proctor did. I think it was Friday night. Proctor announced. We haven't heard from Common Malawach yet, but he'll declare, I'm sure, as well. And Con Knipple was the first domino in these four to fall. By the way, Nate Ament, that top recruit, he's like the fourth-ranked recruit on ESPN's list. He announced that he was going to commit to Tennessee. So that's where he is going to end. But I think it was Connor O'Neill told us on Friday that, Duke stopped recruiting him. Wasn't the right fit for them. All right, so with all of that, and the Mets swept the Cardinals in a 4-game series this weekend. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Well, and the Cubs.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes.
14-10. 14-10.
It was amazing.
They are they're an offensive machine.
Woo!
Keep them away from the Mets for now. Mets have allowed the fewest runs in baseball.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. Did not see New York having that kind of pitching at the beginning of the season, but We're only 22 games in.
True.
We got a long way to go.
We do.
Yeah, so we're talking about 1/7 of the season.
Just a fraction.
Not going to get too bent out of shape over anything good or bad. No. All right, should we start? We should start.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
All right, we got game one. It goes the way of the Hurricanes. And I want to take you back to January. It's a sleepy Friday night in January. And all of a sudden, my Twitter timeline looked like, you ever watch The Price is Right when you get the showcase showdown or
absolutely,
and you spin the wheel?
Yes.
So imagine the wheel just being spun with some force.
Mm-hmm.
That was what my Twitter timeline looked like on a Friday night in January when the Hurricanes traded for Mikko Rantanen.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep up.
Yep.
Finally, it stopped. It slowed down. And when it slowed down, the Hurricanes had Mikko Rantanen through Chicago to Carolina. And the vehicle through which the Hurricanes got Mikko Rantanen included Taylor Hall.
Mm-hmm.
All we did was talk about Mikko Rantanen for a freaking month.
Yep.
That's all we did. We talked about Mikko. Mikko. Is he? Will he? Does he love us? Do we love him? Is he great? Why isn't he playing? Why isn't he scoring? Who is he playing with? That's all we did for a month and a half was talk about Mikko Rantanen. We didn't say jack about Taylor Hall. Set that aside. We realized that Mikko doesn't love us. So it's time to part ways before we get to the altar. And we exchange Mikko for, among other pieces, Logan Stankoven. Plop him right down in a Hurricanes uniform. And it's worked. Yesterday, arguably, Carolina's two best players.
Big time.
Hall was great. Stankoven scored twice. Hall had a couple of assists, including on the second Stankoven goal, the power play goal. So when they say, can you make chicken salad out of chicken?
Mm-hmm.
My friend Bucky Waters used to say feathers.
Nice.
Man, Bucky Waters, awesome. Anyway, yeah, that's what Eric Tulsky did. It wasn't ideal. The return they got from Dallas wasn't ideal. What they gave to Colorado to get Mikko Rantanen, especially when you watch Marty Necas played well in Game 1. Jack Drury played really well in Game 1 in their win in Dallas. Mikko Rantanen didn't play quite as well. When you watch those guys who could have been here, all of that, because they could have gotten Taylor Hall if they wanted Taylor Hall, wouldn't have ended up with Logan Stankoven. Either way, it worked out. Carolina's team is good. They played great yesterday. And those two players, Hall and Stankoven, were two probably of Carolina's best players. Here's the head coach on those two guys.
Both of those guys were, really impactful tonight. Obviously on the goals, that's kind of the obvious one. But you're right, Halsey had really that was a great pass, but he had a bunch of other opportunities and that he created basically on his own. So, those are two great additions for us.
Up and down the lineup, Carolina was really good. Remember going into the game, we talked about the decisions that Rod was going to have to make with the lineup. Who's going to start? We know Tyson Jost was not going to start. As much fun as it was watching him play, he was the easy 14th forward. But how do you come to the decision as who's the 13th forward? In other words, who's not going to play? Because it really came down to, I think, for the head coach, and that's the way he phrased it to me on Saturday afternoon when I spoke with him, was Roslovic does these things, has produced this. Jankowski does all of these things, has produced this. He says all he's done is come here and lead us in goals, which is true. 8 goals in 19 games. I'm not sure. It's possible that Jarvis or Blake had more goals in that span, but I'll go look at it. But Jankowski's been great. Plus, he's part of the penalty kill. And I think Rod processed it this way, knowing that he can flip back and forth during the course of the playoffs anyway, that right face-off guy, power play, and not worried so much about defense because the fourth line is going to not play as much, theoretically, and playing in between William Carrier and Eric Robinson should eliminate whatever that center needs to do defensively for the most part, because those two guys were awesome. Robinson had 8 hits, Carrier had 5, and they absolutely lived in New Jersey's end, if not their heads, for the majority of the game. They were fun to watch.
Of course. The goalie's coming out trying to slash Svech, too. Like, what are we doing?
We got Jacob Markstrom issues.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
I mean, he hurt his own team.
Yeah.
He literally, I don't know the status of Cody Glass. He was the guy that Markstrom slashed when he was trying to hit Andrei Svechnikov. But
so dumb.
Yeah, the Devils were completely out of sorts. But Roslovic won the faceoff on the first goal. Robinson got the puck back to Jalen Chatfield, and that becomes the goal. And Rod talks about depth throughout the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, for us to win, we're going to need 20 guys chipping in and, after a game going, okay, I contributed some way, somehow, and I think that's what we got tonight.
They did. I can't think of anybody who didn't play well. Like, it's easy when you dominate the game. It looks like everybody played well. But if I was doing a grade for the game, I can't give anybody a bad... I don't know that I'd give anybody a C.
Yeah.
It was... The only thing that Carolina didn't do really was score enough, but it was enough if you only give up 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you'd like to... That could have easily been 5. Maybe should have been 5, but it wasn't. I know it ended up being 4, be empty net goal. Andre played really well. It's my other favorite part about the game, right, is that Svechnikov, for me, played exactly the game he needs to play. He was physical. He was engaged. You noticed him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get on the score sheet until the empty net goal. And we thank Taylor Hall for giving him the puck back.
Yeah.
It was just a great teammate does that.
Hall is amazing. I'm so glad we have him.
He's very good. He's a very good player. And the thing about Andre is that if he just plays that way, he'll naturally get points. Forget about the empty net goal. He'll get his points if he continues to play the way he played last night. That's the Andre we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Tripp Tracy is going to join us in about a little bit more than 10 minutes. Canes are practicing right now, by the way, at Lenovo Center. So it was good to see Andrei Svechnikov play. You referenced Jacob Markstrom. So there's a lot of other things I want to talk about regarding this game. We'll get to all of those with Tripp Tracy. But the Devils definitely, they say in hockey, they came off their discipline last night. To me, it started with Timo Meier targeting Jackson Blake and missing, but he did get called for tripping. But Meier, I think it was Aho, tried to elbow Aho earlier in the game and missed.
Mm-hmm.
Then went after Blake, and when Blake moved, Meier kind of stuck his leg out and tripped Blake, but his intent was not to trip. That intent was much worse. Dougie Hamilton did not like when Andre was physical with him, and I wouldn't like it either. So I sympathize or empathize with Dougie Hamilton. But that was so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Not on Easter Sunday, Devils.
That's right. That's right. That was running through my head during the game as well. And then Jacob Markstrom just swings his stick at Andre and hits Cody Glass, who plays for the Devils. And Cody Glass, falls in a heap to the ice. And I have no idea what the status is with Cody Glass. I don't want Cody Glass hurt. Cody Glass was a high draft pick, but has not yet panned out as a really good NHL player. Mm-hmm. He's serviceable at this point, but it has nothing to do with that. You don't want to see anybody hurt. I didn't want to see Brendan Dillon hurt. I didn't want to see Luke Hughes hurt. And all three guys got hurt. Dillon didn't come back. Hughes did come back. Glass didn't come back.
Genius.
But Markstrom just swings his stick at Andre and hits his own guy instead.
And Svetch is just like, what
happened?
What's going
on?
on?
And then Markstrom swung again and missed.
Yeah. Good job,
Maybe
buddy.
he missed on purpose.
Don't go
Maybe
into
it was
baseball.
like, have you seen Princess Bride?
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When Andre the Giant throws the rock and he misses?
Right.
I didn't have to miss.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness.
Maybe that was Markstrom. Maybe he said
Maybe.
that right after he swung the stick at Andre. I did not have to miss.
What a joke.
So, anyway.
Ugh.
Let's when Gold imitates Andre the Giant, it's time to change segments. Or at least topics. NBA playoffs started last night. Or didn't start last night. They started Saturday. So real quick, over the weekend, we're going to talk about this later with Konata Edwards, Nada the Scribe. Lakers home, kind of a no-show. Minnesota took it to him. Third quarter, really a second half difference, although I think they had a nice little cushion before halftime. Lakers made it a little bit of a game, but ultimately Minnesota was just better. And I don't think that's insignificant. I know about the old adage, the series doesn't start till a road team wins, and the road team won. But I don't think it's as big a deal as that. But the Lakers, if you can't stop Minnesota, your defense, which was so good, if you're not going to stop Minnesota, good luck. Warriors win on the road in Houston. Steph Curry and playoff Jimmy combined for 56 points. The Warriors are going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Kerr, who won his 100th, playoff game, said, it was like a game out of 1997. It was a lot of mid-range Jimmy, and that's good. That's fun. Knicks needed a 21-0 run to come back and beat the Pistons at home. That series, I think, is going to be a long one. And the Thunder, I think what they did to Memphis is a felony in most states. That was a beating. I think they won by 51. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like 131 to 80 or 130 to 81, something like that. Some stupid score like that. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. Tripp Tracy is going to join us. I believe he is watching Canes practice at Lenovo Center. Canes will be on the ice probably for another, 20 or so minutes at Lenovo in advance of Game 2. Tripp Tracy joins us next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Let's go! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, you'll get the Giants goal!
Let's go, Canes!
The Chetkov, stop! It's on the goal line behind him! He does a snow angel in the paint!
Go, Canes!
Playoff hockey in Raleigh is something that you can't describe, and it's because of you. So we want to be here.
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Hello, friends. Let me tell you about one of the coolest hangouts in the Triangle. X Golf in Cary. Adam Gold here for X Golf, the premier indoor golf experience in North Carolina. Serious high-end simulator play where you and your regular foursome can play Bethpage Black, cited this fall's Ryder Cup, or you can choose from about 60 other world-class tracks, or just hang out, chill with a drink, some great food, watch the game. Incredible night out. McGregor Shopping Center. X Golf in Cary. PlayXGolf.com.
Child abuse. It happens in all communities. Learning to spot the signs of abuse and knowing how to report it can save a child's life. Children's Advocacy Centers of North Carolina supports over 50 centers statewide, providing hope and healing to young victims of abuse, neglect, and trauma. Join us in the fight against child abuse. Visit cacnc.org to learn more. That's cacnc.org.
Celebrate 50 years of adventure at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Enjoy award-winning performances and European-inspired attractions. Feel the excitement of thrilling rides like the all-new Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge, opening in May. And seasonal events like the Food and Wine Festival, where you can taste, sip, and savor more than 150 flavors from around the world, featuring over 80 new menu items, only at the world's most beautiful theme park. Save up to 30% on tickets, fun cards, and memberships during our Spring Spectacular sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Restrictions apply.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom, and that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low fives, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $150 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 to 3.8 to 9.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Adam Gold.
He said he could talk about his golf game. He did say it wasn't great, and I said, hey, no judgment here. I'm a drive shacker and a putt-putter myself.
None of us are good. Even those of us that are good aren't really good.
Right, yeah.
We're just not.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We're live on YouTube, youtube.com/Adam Gold Show /999 The Fan. I was going to say last night, but it was almost kind of still light when I left Lenovo Center yesterday. Hurricanes 4, Devils 1. This is our first official Cup check-in. Look,
fancy graphic and everything.
It says it behind me. So, yes, and no better person to check in for the first time than my friend, Hurricanes analyst extraordinaire, the co-North Carolina Sportscaster of the Year, Tripp Tracy, who joins us from Lenovo Center. Let's do a little bit of news here. Taylor Hall not on the ice. We just talked about him for a little bit and how impactful he was in the game yesterday. Tyson Jost is taking his spot on that line with Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Andrei Svechnikov, which to me tells me that Rod Brindamore doesn't think that it'll be a problem for Hall to play tomorrow. How do you read it?
Well, I mean, the first thing that I think about AG and practice, the formal part of it, guys will stay on for a bit, just ended, so a crisp 28-minute practice here on the off day, which is about the time that I would expect. You know, you're trying to capture the moment of a heck of an effort in winning game one. Taylor Hall, and, you know, hopefully not significant, but that hit from Daniel Sprong at the end of the game was a bad hit. And I say that because, you know there's all sorts of message sending, even if the game is well in hand in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But Sprong there right near the Carolina blue line, he knew that the door was open on the defensive side of Carolina's bench. and he still finished that hit. Like, that was a tough hit, plain and simple. I'll be curious. I don't know if Sprong will be in the lineup because, did love his game. And we'll get an update on Taylor Hall shortly and hope that it's not anything other than maintenance and he'll be in the lineup. I do agree with your assessment of where Jost is, but I did not like that hit at the time, in particular because there's no question that Sprong would have known that door was open, on the defensive side, and you've got seconds to play in a 4-1 already decided hockey game.
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly close that point, in case if Rod thought that there was a good chance that Hall wouldn't play in Game 2, he would have just put Roslovic up on that line and put Jankowski in Roslovic's space on the fourth line. That would be the easiest way to fix that. But by putting Jost there, he's basically just a placeholder, I would imagine, for Taylor Hall. So let me get to the goonery real quick about the Devils, because I thought there was significant goonery by the Devils. And I get it's playoff hockey, and we don't want to be Pollyanna-ish about this. But Timo Meier went out of his way on 2 occasions, unsuccessful really both times, to goon it up. One with a high elbow, I think on Aho that he missed, and the other, or Jarvis. And then going after Jackson Blake, he did eventually trip him, but he had to go through some gymnastics to get his leg out enough to trip Blake. Then you had the Jacob Markstrom stick swinging incident, which cost him his own player. What do you make of, is that just frustration? I thought the Meier stuff was early in the game.
I think, when I think playoff hockey, things are going to happen. I think my biggest takeaway, my dear friend, is that Carolina was by far more impactful physically to help themselves win the hockey game. And right from the get-go, starting with that Meier hit on Jackson Blake, the Devils did not play with maturity or composure from that standpoint, and it continued throughout.
Yeah.
You and I have spoken a ton about in our many hot stoves about Jackson Blake being able to read the tea leaves, knowing when somebody's trying to finish him and protecting himself as best he can. That's been something that's been very encouraging about Blake and the way that he's played. I guarantee you Timo Meier, when he tried to do that right along the Carolina bench, he was fully cognizant of how well Jackson Blake has played, how important he is to the lineup. Markstrom, had he landed that slash, I believe, on Svechnikov, that could have been a suspendable offense.
Yes.
But what I focus on more than anything is how Carolina physically took advantage of the game while New Jersey had it to a detriment with coming off their game. I mean, I think about those 2 big hits in the second period in particular. Seth Jarvis, friends in the playoffs on Brett Pesce. You know how much we both love Brett Pesce, but that's what you've got to do. And then Andrei Svechnikov, who had a terrific game. That was an amazing moment because everybody knows that it was the trio of Dougie Hamilton, Warren Foegele, and Andrei Svechnikov that was so close Andrei's rookie year when he grabbed us all and said hello and made that unbelievable impression. Dougie coming back from injury, when he received that hit late in the second period, it was like Dougie was like, Andre, you can't hit me. I'm your friend. You could just see it. And then he got away with whether you want to call it a cross check or a slash.
Yeah.
And Dougie was fortunate he didn't get a penalty. But in terms of winning playoff hockey, the Hurricanes with the home crowd behind them, and we know how physical, game ones are, really in a lot of ways is physical of any game that you'll see in the playoffs because teams are fresh and amped up. The Hurricanes clearly on all levels won that department, which I find to be it's just one game, but it leaves me encouraged.
Yeah, I mean, Aho and Jarvis combined for 9 hits. Robinson had 8. Carrier had 5. I think Svechnikov had 3 or 4. And I want to dig into Andre a little bit because that is the type of game that there was a stretch of last year where Andre wasn't on the score sheet a lot. He was getting some assists but no goals. And Rod Brindamore kept saying, he's playing fine. Just let him keep playing the way he's playing. All that other stuff will happen. I thought the game he played yesterday was exactly the way we want to see him play. And if he just does that, the points will come, right?
Oh, AG, he's been an empty net magician in his career.
Yes, he has.
So he scored a ton of them. I don't remember another empty net goal where he was anywhere near as deserving to be the guy that got it than yesterday. So that's the first thing that I think about. But then, I think about, obviously, he stayed out of the penalty box.
Yep.
But then, let's just look at when that happens late in the second period with his good friend but opponent, Dougie Hamilton, then he's got a chance in transition in the third period. And you could see the way Hamilton played it. This was the beginning of the sequence that led to the Luke Hughes injury and then the Cody Glass injury on the Markstrom slash. Dougie was trying to finish Andre, and Andre made a great pass, I believe, to Taylor Hall in the slot. And we've often talked about, aside from the physical dimension, which is obvious, and you knew that switch would be very apparent now that it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. The straw that has to stir Andre's drink, yes, you want to see him shoot the puck with confidence and the threat level that he did in Ottawa for that power play goal on Thursday. But I've often thought that it's his ability to distribute the puck, holding on to it, seeing the open ice. And so he knows Hamilton's coming in to try to finish him. He makes a great pass to the slot. So there were a bunch of things that left a real impact on the game for number 37 in Game 1.
Yeah, I loved his game. I thought that line was really good. They didn't win any faceoffs. Kotkaniemi was 3 out of 15, but I thought that line was excellent during the game. Let me ask you this, because you have a great feel for goaltending as a former goaltender. If I were Rod, I want to get Kochetkov in the series, and I want to get him feeling good. I think the best chance of that is at home. I'd love to see Piotr play tomorrow in Game 2. I know Freddie was really good. We can debate whether the goal was soft or not, was savable or not, doesn't matter. He was really good throughout for the 60-minute game. But I'd like to see Piotr play Game 2 because I know I'm going to need him in Game 3 or 4 in New Jersey.
Okay, so just a quick mention. When you mentioned Kotkaniemi in the face-off circle, who's the guy that he lost the majority of his draws to that got slashed by his own goaltender? It might be her. Cody Glass.
Right.
Okay? So that's just a quick piggyback on that dimension. You can make a valid argument for both guys in Game 2. Myself, just thinking about the fact that the Devils have had such a tough time in Carolina's building and how the series will be perceived, 1-1 versus 2-0 Carolina going to New Jersey, and the way that Freddie immediately moved on from that tough goal and had a super third period. Again, I'll say there's an argument to be made for both sides, and you are 1,000% right. You've got to get Kochetkov in. Myself, I'd go back to Anderson tomorrow with the massive opportunity to get up 2-0 in the series. You could probably argue, partner, that if they play the way that they did, all you need is, once again, solid goaltending.
Yep.
It's very argumentative. I said I'd go with Anderson again, but where I'm sharing the exact same concept that you have, whether you win or lose tomorrow with me going with Anderson, I would go with Kochetkov in Game 3.
Tripp Tracy is joining us here. He is at Lenovo Center. I'm going to let him go because I know you want to go into the locker room. Brett Pesce was the Devils' best player, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's because listen, this is one of my dear friends in life.
I love
and
Brett.
He's one of the finest Hurricanes defensemen there's been. But when you talk about the impact to the crowd, AG, and I know they often do it when a defenseman's behind his own net hanging onto the puck, but when they booed a Hurricane great like they did, and then right early in the first period, and then he turned the puck over like he did, that was so un-Pesce-like.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the crowd making a real difference. This is the playoffs, and the crest is bigger than any individual. It's that simple. He's on the other side. I love him to the ends of the earth. He's on the other side. And then Jarvis finishes him. But to Brett's credit, and we enjoyed it for years, he settled in and played a really nice hockey game. He made the initial pass to Bratt on Heischer's goal, New Jersey's only goal, and I would certainly think that Pesce will be that much better in game 2. But that had to really rattle his cage, with as much as he meant to the Hurricanes. And I give credit to the Hurricanes fan base because he's on the other side right now. And, friendships are on hold. It's that simple.
I will talk to you at the arena tomorrow, sir. I appreciate your time, Tripp Tracy. Once again, the reigning North Carolina Sportscaster of the Year. Thank you very much, my man. I'll talk to you later.
Have a great afternoon. Very quickly, Hall of Famer Mickey Redmond, the fine Detroit color analyst, was listening on the radio yesterday and was very complimentary of your role. I just wanted to pass that along to you. The great Mickey Redmond, my mentor.
Thank you to Mickey. I appreciate that a lot.
You got it. Talk to you.
Talk to you later. Tripp Tracy here on the Adam Gold Show. When I say, I do believe Brett Pesce was the Devils' best player yesterday. Now, they didn't have a lot of them. I know Nico Hischier scored the goal, but to me, Pesce had the most positive impact on the game. But there weren't a lot of Devils who had a positive impact on the game. Even Hischier was very quiet. The Devils aren't going to win this series unless Nico Hischier, yes, he had a goal, but he was not an impactful player positively for New Jersey. They really didn't have any. Pesce was the best one. But it was really more about the way Carolina played. They did. They played theirs. It was very Hurricanes-y. At one point you look up and the shot chart said, I think it was 30-9 in midway through the second period. And yeah, I know it's just shots on goal, but that is what Carolina does when they're on top of their game. There weren't a lot of great scoring chances. By the way, Hurricanes power play went 1 for 3 yesterday. Really could have had goals on all 3 of their power plays. Power play looked pretty good. Penalty kill was elite, but the power play looked pretty good, which was great to see. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got one-timers. For those of you in the YouTube chat, well, thank you. You can also leave questions there. Victoria culls questions from there a lot.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube.com/Adam Gold Show or /999 The Fan. Either way, that was our cup check-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first one. It's a great one with Tripp.
First of many.
Yes.
First of many. I can tell you right now, tomorrow's will be Eric Cole.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
One of my all-time favorites. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. One-timers next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar, now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Are you struggling with your Medicare drug costs? The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program may be able to help. The extra help and Medicare savings programs are available for those who qualify, but you have to apply. Contact SHIP today to see if you qualify. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
It's okay not to be okay. Feelings of loneliness, anger, and worry are completely normal, and you're not alone. If you need help coping, call, text, or chat the free 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Someone is always there to talk, day or night. Together, we will find the care that works for you. Just call, text, or chat 988 anytime to talk to a trained counselor who will listen, provide support, and connect you to other resources that can help. Let's get through it together. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Agriculture drives our local economy. I'm Lee Ivey, director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University, and we are looking for our next generation of leaders. If you want to make a difference and help feed the world, join us at the Ag Institute, where we grow successful graduates, productive futures, and rewarding lifestyles. We offer 2-year degrees and hundreds of internships. Learn more online by searching NC State Ag Institute. Deadline for fall enrollment is June 1st. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
From the mountains to the coast, there is tremendous pride in North Carolina agriculture. NC Forever Farms is a program recognizing family farms that are protecting precious working lands vital to the future of agriculture. Through permanent agricultural conservation easements, these NC Forever Farms will always be protected from development. Learn more about preserving family farms through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services by visiting ncadfp.org.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Gold. Gold.
If Andrei Svechnikov watched Eric Cole highlight tapes and cause chaos.
Hey, hashtag, you didn't even mean to do that, did you?
I didn't. Well, that's the old one.
I know, but
right?
It's still relevant.
Now we're raising up. Maybe we should go back to cause chaos.
I know, we need to go back to causing chaos.
This is interesting. I did kind of subconsciously bring that out.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. Megan Chayka runs a hockey analytics company called Stathletes. She will join us a little bit later on, just after 1 o'clock, 1:15 to be exact. She's also an analyst a lot for TSN. So we will talk about game one, round one, numbers that maybe jumped out at her a little bit, and why when sometimes we look at the possession metrics and why that isn't always the best thing to look at. Carolina has a lot of possession all the time. It's what they do. But what do you do with that possession that really, I think, tells us who the better team was? Just because you have the puck doesn't mean, and if you haven't done anything with it, what does it mean? What does it really mean? Other than when you have it, they can't score. That's the best thing. You still got to score goals to win. All right, we'll do that next hour. Right now, it is time. I meant to say this. Sheldon Keefe, the Devils coach, has just spoken with the media. I guess they're not skating. Who knows? He said that right now, the injured players who were injured yesterday, Cody Glass, Jack Hughes, who did come back, not Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, who did come back, and Brendan Dillon, the defenseman who left the game with what looked like a concussion, that he has no word on them. They're still being evaluated. No idea about tomorrow's game 2. With that said, one-timers.
Okay, so we do have Lots of folks on the YouTube stream right now chit-chatting about our Carolina Hurricanes. And so, kicking things off, we have one. This is maybe more of a statement. Can we make sure the team sees Nico Heischer's post comments, quote, "They don't do anything special. It's simple hockey." I don't think the team sees anything like that, do they?
Well, Sheldon Keefe said it. There's a lot of truth to what Nico Hischier said. Sheldon Keefe said they're easy to prepare for. They're hard to play against. And that's a compliment. Mm-hmm. We know what they're going to do. Because this is, I mean, I get it. Carolina is not, it's not, I mean, it's more complicated than they're making it out to be, because there are definite intricacies within what Carolina does. But the premise is the same. We want to get the puck behind you and then go make your life miserable when you try to do something with it. Because that's how Martinook got the puck to Logan Stankoven for the second goal. And I've always said Carolina is best when they are coming out from behind the other net. Low to high, to me, is the best recipe for Hurricanes goals. Low to high. As much as possible. In a way, Taylor Hall's pass to Stankoven on the power play goal was also low to high.
Yeah.
Because it came from almost at the goal line extended in the corner. So, I have no problem with what Nico Hischier said. That's a compliment.
Okay, moving on. This is from Josh. How do you feel about Svech's shots? He seems more confident to me, but he's kind of sending it center mass. What are your thoughts?
I had just let Andre play the same way. Play the same game. Every game in the playoffs, we'll play a lot of games. I'm not worried about did he hit the goalie with it. Just play the same game. That's the way we need Andre to play.
All right, next up, with there being four guys essentially for three slots on that fourth line, Ross, Jank, Carrier, Robbie, any chances that we see a Ross, Jank, Carrier fourth line, or is Robbie too good to pull out?
Eric Robinson ain't coming out of the lineup if I have a decision to make. If Rod calls me and said, should I take Eric Robinson out of the lineup? I'm like, are you crazy? Too good a year, too impactful basically every game he plays. He would not come out of the lineup for me. And I thought he was excellent yesterday. So, no. The decision does come down to Roslovic and Jankowski. I get why Rod chose Roslovic yesterday. He'll probably stay with it today, rather for tomorrow, because Roslovic, I thought, had a very good game. No reason to pull him out. But Jankowski, to me, that's the decision. Jankowski or Roslovic. Then if somebody isn't playing well, I mean, if Kotkaniemi has a couple of bad games, you might put Jankowski up there or you might put Roslovic up there. But I think Kotkaniemi played well yesterday. No reason to make any changes.
Yeah. Okay, next up, do you believe that the Hurricanes were playing with lesser effort in the final few games of the regular season to avoid injury for the playoffs, preventing another Jesper Foss situation?
They were playing with, first of all, lesser effort wouldn't prevent that. So, no, I don't think they were playing with lesser effort. They were playing with lesser players. Like, they rested. Like, their best 7 players didn't play the last 2 games, and they took turns resting other guys. So, yeah, no, they were playing with different players. It wasn't a lack of effort. The effort's never the issue with Carolina.
Yeah. All right. Do you see the next games coming up to be more physical, having more physicality, seeing how this first game went?
In general, first-round series are the most physical. I do. I think because everybody's got all this energy, and they know, especially theoretically, you've got the biggest spread between the favorite and the underdog. Doesn't always work out that way. Like, Carolina's an overwhelming favorite to beat New Jersey, and I haven't looked at the odds, how the odds were impacted today. But at one point yesterday, right before the game, Carolina was minus 325 to win the series. So they're saying like 1-3.
Yeah. Wow.
It was crazy. So, yeah, you're going to see the most physical series is generally the first series. But playoff hockey is physical.
Yeah.
It's not going to get more than this, though.
All right, last but not least, who would you prefer to see in net for the next game, Piotr or Freddie?
Prefer, or that's kind of loaded. Freddie's the better goaltender right now, but I think the Canes can win the game with Pyotr Kochetkov, and you're going to need him. You're going to have to play Pyotr in New Jersey, so.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary, the man who 38 years ago invented the no closing cost mortgage because he saw the future, a future where mortgage rates would fluctuate, much like the stock market, not quite as volatile. And here's what he didn't want to be a factor in the whole process: timing. We take timing out because we always give ourselves the freedom to refinance free of charge when you don't pay closing costs. If you pay closing costs, you are saying the rates are never coming down from where they are right now. Are you serious? You think this is the bottom? It ain't the bottom. We're going to be significantly lower in a year because that's what happens. Gordon told me this. Miller Lending, home of the original no closing cost mortgage, where you keep thousands of dollars of your money in your account and not give them to the banks. They've got plenty of money. On Kildare Farm Road in Cary since 1996. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 250-2146.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Joint pain in your knees, shoulders, or lower back. It can stop you in your tracks. At DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, we offer a revolutionary course of treatment that can eliminate your joint pain and have you back to your old self in no time. Our regenerative therapies actually help repair damaged tissue to eliminate the pain without risky invasive surgery. If you suffer with joint pain and have been told your only options are medications, steroid injections, or surgery, DaVita Med Spa and Wellness offers non-surgical solutions using your body's own cells with minimal downtime and long-lasting results. Experience personalized, compassionate medical care at its best. Call our office now and see how you can get real, long-lasting relief from joint pain through regenerative medicine and the medical experts at DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, spelled DVIDA. Call 984-333-1313. That's 984-333-1313. 984-333-1313.
Happy anniversary, RTP. At Lenovo, we're proudly celebrating 20 years of calling the Triangle home. That's 2 decades of empowering future innovators through our local partnerships and championing smarter technology for all. And we're just getting started.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Edwards, left angle three is down. Los Angeles has an ant problem, and it's 104-88. Doncic turns over the inbound.
Get up, Dante.
DiVincenzo to the other end, dunks with two hands.
And pushes the lead out to 21 here on the road.
This is now a final in game one. You may or may not be surprised at the result. Perhaps you are by the margin. Minnesota wins game one on the road, 117-95 over the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, I think that was a surprise. Put that in the category of surprise. It is the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. We will talk NBA playoffs with Konata Edwards from CBS Sports coming up in a little bit. It'll be in our next hour. We're going to talk analytics and hockey and what is important and what might be not unimportant, but not as important. With Megan Chayka from Stathletes coming up. She's also a TSN hockey analyst. We have spoken with her before. Last time we spoke with Megan, she was over in the UK doing some work with the Premier League, and she joined us from Manchester.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not sure she was at Old Trafford or not, but she joined us from Manchester. We'll see if she will be in an exotic locale.
Right.
Maybe she is in Toronto, where the Maple Leafs hammered Ottawa last night. Talk about coming off your discipline. Ottawa was no good. You cannot win in the playoffs as an underdog by putting Toronto on the power play the way they did, especially early in that game. I think they gave up 3 power play goals. Anyway, Hurricanes didn't give up any. They scored one. They won the battle of special teams. Yesterday, we'll talk to Megan Chayka coming up in about a little less than 15 minutes. Tomorrow on the program, little advanced planning for you. And Victoria, as a big Panthers fan.
Yes.
If I asked you, who is the best first-round pick in Panthers history, who would you say? We're going to do this tomorrow for all 7 rounds. The best first-round pick, the best second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh.
I mean, first comes to mind, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Well, he was first overall, right? I think the only first overall pick they've ever had, I think, was Cam Newton. Yes, that would be like Cam Newton, Julius Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Luke Kuechly.
I love Luke.
Jordan Gross, right? As long as Jordan Gross was the left tackle. We would love it if Ike Ekwonu would turn out to be Jordan Gross, right? That is such a big part of your team when you can say, left tackle, done.
Yeah.
Don't have to think about it.
We're good.
And I still think that the Panthers are in a, okay, he's fine. You don't want, he's okay.
No. Yeah.
You don't want that at left tackle. But I think they have obviously other areas of need, and he's been fine. And we'll just leave it at that. But to me, off the top of my head, those are the 4 choices. Who was the best first-round pick? Actually, Bryce Young. They had the first pick, and they took Bryce Young a couple of years ago. Of course, they traded for that one. They achieved Cam's first overall pick organically.
Yes.
So that's tomorrow on the program. We're going to discuss that. We're going to dig into 7 rounds of the best draft pick in Panthers history. I just thought that'll
lead
be
into the draft.
That'll be a lot of fun. That's Thursday. The first round of the draft is Thursday. I did see where there are now more people saying, boy, we really think the Panthers are going to trade out of the first round.
Okay.
Like try to compile a whole bunch of picks and say the player we can get in early in the second round is just as good as the player we can pick at 9.
Yeah.
And I've heard enough from people that say after you get past the first handful of picks, there's just no difference between those players. You could hit on somebody or you could miss on somebody the same for the same price. All right, Take two. We started the program with earth-shattering news. Didn't see this coming. Cooper Flagg is declared for the NBA draft. I thought he was going to be a 5-year player or two.
Right.
Turns out Cooper Flagg, first pick overall in the NBA draft, probably want to do that.
The Armando Bacot career.
Yeah.
College career.
Carolina, they won.
Yeah.
They won with Mondo.
They did.
Right? So, by the way, there was a horse. I forget where it was. A thoroughbred horse named after Armando Bacot. No joke. Legitimately named after Armando Bacot that won a race yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. Very cool.
Why do we not have one named after Xavier for the Panthers? Because he's all about horses.
He is. But I don't think they're thoroughbred horses.
Yeah.
He's more. He's probably more into cutting horses, right?
Yeah.
Like
Eating
barrel
crawfish.
racing and stuff like that. But yes, so Armando Bacot, a horse named after Armando Bacot, won a race yesterday. All right, here's John Shire, Cooper Flagg's coach for 1 year on Cooper Flagg.
Really proud of Cooper for the special season that he had this year. I think the accolades speak for itself with what he did, winning every National Player of the Year award. His highlights, his statistics, the ways he impacted the game on both ends of the floor, really in every category, was off the charts. As good of a freshman season that the guys had here. But to me, the separator and the joy of coaching Cooper is the person he was every day, the teammate that he was, never about statistics or anything other than creating an environment and helping his team to win. And we won a lot of games and had a lot of success, and a lot of times that environment is created from your best player. And Cooper did an incredible job in every facet of our program, on and off the court with what he's done.
He was amazing. He's going to be a great pro. He's got a pro game. He showed a pro game all year long. Stephen A. Smith also thinks Cooper Flagg's going to be a great pro.
I love the kid. I think he's the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. I don't think there's any question about it. The only blemish on his career is there was 4 times that he had a chance to win a game, and he failed all 4 times, But that's just the last play, the game-winning shot. That happens. You certainly miss more than you make. Even the greatest of them all has done that. We understand that. But in the end, being 6'8", 6'9", his ball handling, his passing skills, his shot-making ability from short range, long range, can play with his back to the basket, facing the basket, plus he'll defend, plus he'll block shots. This brother is the total package, and he is going to be the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming NBA draft. It is no secret what he was going to do because there's no reason for him not to. He's that dude.
Who's going to get him? Who's going to get him?
I liked all the talk about how he might be a Charlotte Hornet, which I wouldn't hate. Stay in North Carolina, Coop.
So, could be a Hornet, could be a Wizard, could be who are the worst team? I mean, yeah, but even the team with the best chance of getting Cooper Flagg has a 14% chance of getting Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Which, I'll do the math, an 86% chance you won't. So, who knows? Who knows who gets him? If you are Cooper Flagg, though, you might hope that it's one of those teams that has like a 10% or 2% chance of getting Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Because, no, I actually think the Wizards are closer to being like good than any of the other teams that are in the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards have more good young pieces. They need bona fide players. And I think Cooper Flagg is going to be a bona fide player. I don't know if he's going to be an all NBA caliber player, but there isn't any player who was taken first overall, none of them, who have the overall game that Cooper Flagg has. Can do it all. Shoot from deep, put the ball on the floor. Stephen A. Smith was right. 0 for 4 in game-winning situations with the ball. There were the Very famous and talked about turnovers against Kentucky, against Kansas, against Clemson when he slipped and fell. And then he missed the shot here at the national semifinal against Houston. Yeah, all of that is true. But it doesn't change everything that he was able to accomplish during the course of the season. All right, analytically speaking, should it have been worse against New Jersey than 4-1? We'll dig into the numbers of the Hurricanes' Game 1 win. Megan Chayko will join us to talk about that next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
The NFL Draft is almost here, and for the Panthers, it's about one thing: reacting. The first 7 picks in the NFL Draft, absolutely insane. And here's the thing: the 9th pick with the Saints seems like they want Shedeur Sanders, which means everyone that wants a quarterback is going to be calling Dan Morgan. He has to be ready to react.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low 5s, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is is Adam Gold.
And I did have to use two screens at one point, or a couple of points, and I don't like it. I can't watch two games at the same time.
There's a lot going on.
I'm sorry. I'm incapable of doing that. Because there were times where, I forgot this other game was on in front of me.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. We'll catch up with Megan Chayka next hour. So the draft is coming up on Thursday. And just to illustrate how difficult it is in the first round, Carolina picks in that range where you think you're going to get a great player, but you don't know. You just don't know. And we can even go back through recent history. Tomorrow on the program, we're going to go through all rounds of Panthers draft history. Our friend Chris McLean from Mac and Bone in the Morning is going to join us tomorrow. And we're going to go through the all-time Panthers best draft picks. First, second, third, all the way through the seventh round. Now, I will tell you, and we'll have this debate with Chris tomorrow. Your pick is the right pick. For value, you could say Luke Kuechly. Right? Or Jordan Gross because they were picked later.
Right.
But here's the reason why the answer is Cam Newton. Over Julius Peppers, who is in the Hall of Fame. The answer is that because the franchise was never, I'll use this term, sexier than when Cam Newton was the quarterback. The Cam Newton equaled relevance. All you really needed to know about Cam and his impact on the team and how people looked at the team was when he came back. Remember when he came back?
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Right? Oh, you were.
I was there at
for
the game.
Game against Washington.
Yes, because Ron was back too.
When they announced him as the starter.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they should have bit the bullet with him the year before, or 2 years before. They should have just allowed him to play out the last year of his contract. And if they do that, then it probably doesn't start a bad cycle of quarterback play. They decided, Teddy Bridgewater, that's the way we'll go. That was a disaster. Now, it wasn't necessarily a disaster because of Teddy. As it turned out, it was really a disaster because of Matt Rule. That was the real problem.
He makes everything a disaster.
Yeah, no question about it. But had they just let Cam play out the last year? Now, I understand the problem was that might have been difficult because Cam wanted a contract extension because he was in the last year of his deal, and I get it. He probably wanted a contract extension, which was making those discussions even more difficult. But push comes to shove, I think Cam would have played the last year. So that's the way they should have done it. And my favorite part about the return was Matt Rule, who was the coach, right? Was Matt Rule recognizing that, this is different. Not that he was such a good player because he wasn't, but there was an aura about Cam.
Big time.
That Matt completely discounted.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to rally teammates around him. One of the underrated parts of Cam Newton's impact on Panthers football was his leadership.
It was huge. It was everything.
They loved Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Peppers is in the Hall of Fame, and you can make an argument that Jordan Gross was a better player for longer, and Kuechly will be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure Cam Newton will be, although I could make a very good argument that he should. But I don't know that he will be because his career was not super long.
Yeah.
His dominance was sort of concentrated. But Newton had a greater lasting impact on the franchise. They're still feeling his absence than anybody else who's ever been picked number one. But the Hurricanes, the Panthers pick at number 8. And if you think about when they have picked in that range and the player you can get good players. You can get J.C. Horn at number 8. But he is not an automatic star. It has certainly worked out after we got through, hopefully, after we got through this period of injuries. But Derek Brown, great player, I think. We missed him last year. But there are too many players who you draft at number, in the back half of the top 10 that don't always work out. I mean, the Panthers have been pretty good at it because every one of those picks that they've made recently within the top 10 have worked out. Where the Panthers have not been as good really are in the latter parts of the first round. But it is not easy to always smash those draft picks really well. So the Panthers at number 8, you could take a guy who crushes it, or you could take a guy who's just kind of okay. And guys who are just kind of okay don't necessarily make you great. But that's where the Panthers at number, that's why I think, especially for this draft, which a lot of people assume or have said that after you get past the first handful of picks, 7, 8 picks, it's pretty much the same through the rest of the first round. That doesn't mean that if a guy is there that you love, that you shouldn't take him. But the Panthers will have an opportunity to trade back and compile a bunch of draft picks. All right, I saw this about the draft, and we're going to move on to a bunch of other things here. I saw this about the draft that it speaks to something that I have said about for a while about the running back position. So Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise State, sent a letter to like every team in the draft about why you should pick me. And it was, it was not a long letter. It was just basically the stuff that you might tweet, but in letter form, and basically said, I will do for your team what Saquon Barkley did for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's great. I know football people love to, oh, man, this is the guy you want. Urgh. He didn't put the at the end of that. I did that for effect. I think Ashton Genty is going to be an excellent NFL player. But they were talking about this on Kevin Clark's podcast. Ryan Wilson was on with Kevin Clark from ESPN. Ryan Wilson is going to be on with us tomorrow. And what's funny about this is I appreciated because Ryan floated the idea that Jacksonville might take Ashton Genty. So many mock drafts have the Raiders at number 6 taking Ashton Genty. And this is not whether or not he's good or going to be great. It's not about whether or not Saquon Barkley was good, going to be great. When the Giants took him number 2 overall, is that why would you ever take a running back that high in the draft when the rest of your team stinks? I don't know if the Jaguars are in the rest of your team stinks category, but they pick 5th overall. I don't know if the Raiders are in the rest of your team stinks category, but they pick 6th overall. It's possible the rest of your team stinks. What's clear is that teams like the Jaguars and the Raiders are not a running back away from being a contender. So why would you invest a pick as valuable as one in the top 6 of the draft on a running back position that will not make you better. A great running back will not do anything for a bad team. Nothing. At best, it will get you an additional win or 2, which means you still miss the playoffs. Then you get a lesser player the following year, and the shelf life of a running back, by and large, not long. It's a short lifespan of usefulness. Very few running backs are effective into year, really even 5 or 6. If you get past that part and you are still effective, well, then maybe you are a Christian McCaffrey type who only half of his game is what he does actually running the football. There are so few Derrick Henrys, Adrian Petersons of the world, so few of them. There are far more. Who was the guy with the Broncos who won the title, played at Georgia? Regardless, there are far more running backs that are great for 3 years or 4 years and then are done. There are far more Christian Okoyes than there are Derrick Henrys or Curtis Martins, who were great for a decade. Those guys, there's only so many of them historically, especially with the margins being so fine with today's game of speed. If you go back 40 years and it's more of a power game where you could be slow on defense as long as you were big, tough, and could tackle. Really can't do that. It's a speed game now. So if you've lost a quarter of a step, that's noticeable. That's significant. There are so few of those guys at running back. There's zero chance I would invest in that position unless I happen to be a great team that just happen to have a high draft pick because a team that made a trade with me and gave me a draft pick happen to have a bad year and I have their pick. It's the only way I would ever take a running back is if it was the final piece. Saquon Barkley was great last year for the Eagles. But Barkley, over the course of his career, while maybe not as great for the Giants. What did he do for them? Nothing. In fact, I think the year the Giants made the playoffs, Brian Daboll's first year, I'm not even sure Barkley was that healthy. Maybe he was. Doesn't really matter. He never made the Giants great. And he was the 2nd overall pick. Zero chance you should take a running back unless it makes you elite. Like the Eagles simply needed one of those to make their offense super dangerous. They were already good with the likes of Kenneth Gainwell. They were already good there. Sanders, who came to the Panthers and now is elsewhere. They were already good. But Barkley made their offense great because they had the same set of wide receivers, basically the same type of tight end. They were running the same stuff. Barkley took their offense to another level.
Yeah, even with the drama in the locker room. They were still able to play through it.
Exactly. It didn't even matter.
No.
So for me, I just would never take a running back early, and we're waiting for that first mistake. This is not about Ashton Genty could come in. The Raiders could take him at number 6. He could rush for 1,800 yards, be the runaway winner for the Rookie of the Year, and the Raiders might win. Oh, they did add the quarterback, Geno Smith. But they're just not that good. And in that division, so the Raiders might win 7 games. Yay. 7 wins.
You're mid.
So now you pick 8th in the draft again next year. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you should tank. But by the time the Raiders are good, by the time the Giants were good when they took Barkley, your running back's probably not the same.
Yeah.
And Barkley had his injury issues too. But Barkley, of course, he's one of those guys who did defy the odds a little bit because it was his second team.
I'll be curious to see how the Raiders do this year, considering they've got Tom Brady now, they've got Pete Carroll. Like, I think most people know that this year is just a culture change year. Like, this is just to shake things up and get them on the right path again, I think. So I'm curious to see how well it works.
Yeah, well,
see.
There's you never know. You can't project, and we all make guesses. Whether it's, I'll bring it back to hockey for a second. So Eric Tulsky for the Hurricanes is an analytics genius.
Yeah.
Right? And when he looked at Mikko Rantanen, he said where Rantanen is effective based on the way they look at the game would be great in Carolina's system. Now, it's a small sample, the games he played for the Hurricanes. And yes, there was the break for Four Nations face-off, which meant he played like 8 games before Four Nations and then like 8 games after Four Nations. So it was hard to get a real gauge. But anybody that looked at it would go, not really that effective. Again, small sample size. So even the math that tells us what is important sometimes does not work out when you're looking at it and when you're watching these games unfold in front of us. You can bring in the best coach in the world or the best player in the world. Sometimes he's not a fit. Sometimes that player, we've talked about this before, sometimes the player doesn't even consider that his surroundings enabled him to be a great player where he was. And then you move to another situation, and you know what? The surroundings are not the same. Juan Soto for the Mets, actually, he got off to a slow start this year. He's still not doing what he would normally do, although the last few games have been better. And they asked him, what's the difference right now? He goes, I don't have Aaron Judge hitting behind me.
There's that.
Some people took that as an offense. No. That is called reality. And in sports, it matters what the guys are doing around you. So if you play with Connor McDavid, you're going to get a lot more opportunities than a guy playing with, let's just say Jeff Skinner. It's just you're going to get a lot more opportunities. So people never always consider the things around you. We have no idea how some of these things are going to work out. They might work out better. They might not work out as well. I do wonder this, because we're going to talk NBA playoffs with Konata Edwards later on. I do wonder about this. The Lakers looked great for however many games they had Luka and LeBron playing. And then LeBron went out with the injury, fell apart a little bit. They looked like they got it back together. And then they go out and pretty much lay a first game one egg. Are they going to be able to pull it back together and get ready for for game 2 and make this a series? Because if they go down, they're probably not going back to Minnesota and winning both, which means that it puts them on the brink for the rest of the series. Game 2 could not be more important for the Lakers to win that series. Anyway, let me get a break in here. We'll come back. Well, stretch. We have bets to place as well. This is the Adam Gold Show here.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar, now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Are you struggling with your Medicare drug costs? The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program may be able to help. The Extra Help and Medicare Savings programs are available for those who qualify, but you have to apply. Contact SHIP today to see if you qualify. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
It's okay not to be okay. Feelings of loneliness, anger, and worry are completely normal, and you're not alone. If you need help coping, call, text, or chat the free 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Someone is always there to talk, day or night. Together, we will find the care that works for you. Just call, text, or chat 988 anytime to talk to a trained counselor who will listen, provide support, and connect you to other resources that can help. Let's get through it together. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
From the food we eat to the clothes we wear, agriculture touches every corner of our daily lives. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University. With the world's population growing, we need people equipped and trained to meet the needs of our future. In our program, we rise to meet that challenge every day, and our students are engaged and invested. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. Deadline for fall enrollment is June 1st. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
From the mountains to the coast, there is tremendous pride in North Carolina agriculture. NC Forever Farms is a program recognizing family farms that are protecting precious working lands vital to the future of agriculture. Through permanent agricultural conservation easements, these NC Forever Farms will always be protected from development. Learn more about preserving family farms through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services by visiting ncadfp.org.
We weren't sure adoption would happen for us, but when it did, it happened threefold.
Mary and her husband first met their 3 children when they became their foster parents. Little did they know that their house would become the siblings' forever home.
We had to help them adjust to the idea that they wouldn't have to leave. Children in foster care have lived and survived so much. We had to help them process their trauma. And now to hear our children say that they know they have a mother and father who take care of us, teach us, and love us means everything.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is committed to finding safe, permanent homes for the longest waiting children in foster care.
I not only love these kids, I am just so proud of them.
You can help. Visit davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Adam Gold.
Thank you very much for your time, man. We will talk again.
Adam, anytime for you, my friend.
Thank you. I don't know why it makes me laugh. Why does that make me laugh?
I don't know. Maybe you just are used to people being mean to you or something, like Twitter. I don't know.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. We're going to place bets in a little bit. We will also stretch in a little bit. Some odds and ends here. Nico Iamalieva.
Oh, I got you.
Terrible.
Got it.
No, not really. I screwed up the first time. So, Tennessee quarterback, contract dispute, holdout, school moved on, he moved on, went to the portal, did come out at UCLA. Now, if you believe the numbers from when he was at Tennessee, which was roughly $2.5 million a year in NIL, what he's getting at UCLA is not that. It's closer to $1.5 million he's going to have to get by on. Now, also much more difficult in LA, right? If you have to, cost of living and all that. But you know who was at UCLA before?
Who's that?
Former App quarterback Joey Aguilar.
Oh.
So he went into the portal, came out in UCLA, and now they went and upgraded, theoretically, to Iamaleava. And so what happens to Aguilar? I mean, he could certainly stay at UCLA and compete, but is almost certainly not going to start over Iamaleava. So if you're Aguilar, maybe you just jump right back into the portal. Would it be hysterical if he ended up at Tennessee?
It would be. That would be.
I have no idea what's going to happen with Joey Aguilar. He's a good quarterback. He's not the kid from Tennessee. That kid from Tennessee is one of the elite talents in the country who, if things progress as I'm sure he would like, he goes to ends up in the NFL. I don't think that we're not looking at that with Joey Aguilar, who's a good college quarterback. A college quarterback that with the right team around you, that you could certainly win. Now, I don't know about winning a national championship, and those are Tennessee's goals, so I don't know if he's going to end up there, but it would certainly be interesting to see what happens with him. I just think that is hysterical. All right, the Hurricanes will not skate in the morning. Played yesterday, practiced today. Totally on brand for Rod Brindamore not to do this. But here's what will not be obvious to the people without a morning skate. The lineup, Roslovic or Jankowski at fourth line center. Hall, who did not practice today, although, as I said earlier, the fact that Tyson Jost manned that spot on a line with Kotkaniemi and Svechnikov tells me that they expect Hall to play tomorrow, because if it was a real toss-up, they would have put Roslovic up on that line with Kotkaniemi and Svechnikov and just slid Jankowski over to center the fourth line, and they still left the four players, Robinson, Carrier, Roslovic, and Jankowski, as those last two were just kind of alternating at center. Just leave those guys together because these are the intended lines. So the world won't know if Taylor Hall is going to draw back into the lineup or he's going to play game 2 or not. And again, we won't know the goalie choice because we can tell. I mean, there are certain little things. One, the Hurricanes always come out of the if you're looking at it from the bench, the goal to the left is the goal they defend in the first and third periods, and that is the goal in practice that the starter always goes to. The starter is also the first goalie off the ice at the morning skate during a game or on a game day. We won't know that. And I think that is more of a reason for them not to skate, other than we played Sunday, we practiced Monday, no sense skating Tuesday, which I get. And at this time of the year, Rod does that a whole lot more than he doesn't. He believes in backing off at this stage of the game. They practice a lot less. Give the guys rest. There's nothing we're going to do today that is brand new to the group. We're not going to put in new plays right now. All we're doing is getting on the ice and going through workouts and drills. It was fun to be there, by the way, on Saturday to watch the full practice. And they practiced today. So Alexander Nikishin went through another practice. He's had 2 full practices. This one wasn't really a full practice. It was about 60% of a full practice.
Oh, I thought you were going to say learning English.
No, he needs Babbel.
Yeah, exactly.
Get him Babbel. It would help. It would certainly help him. Here's the thing about because somebody said, well, what if he gets in a bunch of practices? Like, when? When is that going to happen? The only time you're going to have legit practices, this is the truth, between now and the start of next season, no joke, is if Carolina finishes off the Devils quickly. If they sweep the series and we're done Sunday, then the Hurricanes are going to have a week off. I'm not saying you want a week off, but during that week, they'll get in 3 or 4 good practices, legit practices, 45 minutes to an hour practices on those days, if they have a week off. But, I mean, as one-sided as the game was yesterday, I don't see this being a 4-game series sweep. Look, the Devils have some challenges, but the difference between these two teams shouldn't really be over the course of a full series what we saw yesterday. Devils will play better. I think they were overwhelmed by Carolina's speed and the way they played. I think New Jersey will be better. Tomorrow, they'll certainly be better when Sheldon Keefe can control the matchups and make sure that Nico Hischier's line stays as far away from Jordan Staal as possible. So that will put a lot of pressure on Kotkaniemi, Svechnikov, and Hall.
Yeah.
That to me will be the matchup that we will see in game number 3.
And their goalie doesn't take out their own guys. So there's that. Markstrom.
We'll see. See if anybody's left. All right, it's time to stretch.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember last week when I told you about how Red Robin was doing their bottomless burger passes.
Yeah, I mean, the bottomless fries I get.
Yes.
I guess bottomless burgers probably isn't that bad because, I mean, yeah, maybe you could eat 2.
Yeah.
But who could eat more than 2?
What? Right, yeah. Why would you want to? This is
right.
just...
That's another good point. Yeah. Who would want to?
Why would you do this to yourself?
The burgers are good. I've had them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
I got no problem with Red Robin.
So for anyone who missed it, basically what they're doing, it's like National Burger Month in May, apparently. And so for the month of May, they were selling these passes for $20. You could get a burger and bottomless sides every day of the month, which was like a $682 value. However, they instantly sold out, which everyone thought they were going to do. But even worse, the whole website crashed. People couldn't even see that they were late to the burger party because the website was completely donezo. And apparently, the few people who actually did get this pass were mistakenly charged the $682 instead of the $20. So there you go. That was a total flop. But they did say that Red Robin had apologized for this mishap.
Well,
and they're comparing this to when Taylor Swift was selling her tickets and completely crashed out. No, this is even worse apparently. So people were super upset about it, saying they spent all kinds of time refreshing for their burger pass that they'd never got. Oh, so sad. So they apologized and said that they figured it would be an issue. But then, of course, they back it up with, however, there's more sweepstakes to be coming where you can get burgers for a year. So, you can wait for that to be posted on their website. And they actually say there's going to be only 12 winners. That was the shady part about this one, where they just said it was, quote, a limited supply. So, who knows? But we'll see if their website works better. Them and Netflix, man, it wasn't working out well for them. So, But that didn't work out well last week for poor old Red Robin and their
too bad
their bottomless burgers or whatever they want to do. Now this, I know a lot of people are going to be going on vacations, and a lot of people like to go to Charleston, South Carolina, which I've heard is a very lovely place.
Oh, you have not been.
I have not been to Charleston.
It is awesome.
I know. I need to go. I've heard very good things about it. However, I will not be going to this restaurant because there is a seafood place in Charleston, North Carolina, that they are now serving a dessert that I would not put together. This is legit. It is called a Smoister, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's an oyster s'more.
What?
And this is
Please tell me it's not chocolate and marshmallow with an oyster.
Oh, yeah.
Please, I'm begging you not to tell me that.
It's bad. So it's an oyster on a half shell. Then they top it with Hershey's chocolate.
No,
then
okay,
they
stop.
Put
Just stop. Just don't. I don't want to
graham cracker crumbs on top with a tiny little marshmallow that they torch, to brown it like a s'more. This place is called Fleet Landing. Never been there, but the manager said that he wanted to try something different.
Yes, he did.
And realized that
Mission
no one
accomplished.
was doing an oyster dessert. There's probably a reason for that. His first idea was actually to take a Girl Scout cookie, a Thin Mint, and an oyster. But of course, you didn't have the fun name of Smoisters if you do that. So, yeah, there you go. Won't be trying that one. And last but not least, someone did try this. So you've heard of the 5-second rule. This whole 7th inning's all about food. So 5-second rule, basically, for anyone who, I don't know how you wouldn't know what that is if you drop something delicious on the ground, you're like, nope, 5-second rule is still fine. You pick it up, eat it. Well, a microbiologist used TikTok for things other than dancing recently, and he did a Petri dish test where he put Petri dishes on the ground for various time limits ranging from 0 seconds to a minute, so he could cultivate some samples and see if it developed any bacteria. Well, shocker. Anything that hit the ground had microbial growth, as he calls it, so nothing is safe.
Right. The
5-second rule doesn't apply, but it's fine. It really just to each their own, because you have to figure out what's worth it for you. Like sometimes, and it depends what you drop also.
Yes.
Because if you drop
pudding, if you drop chocolate mousse on the ground,
right,
don't.
just take your finger. No, you don't do that. Did you drop pizza, and is it face down or face up? That kind of thing.
Yeah, pizza face down, you can't eat.
Right? If it's a bagel, you're fine. You're fine. Is there cream cheese on it yet? No? Okay, you're good. Like, just whatever.
Wow.
So, yeah. But just so you know, there is really no 5-second rule. It's going to be dirty either way. So, yeah, I don't know. But you know what's not dirty? I did 3 for 3 with our bets last week.
Well,
Place your bets. Here. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
Yeah, went 3 for 3 and put money on none of them.
Really?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I picked the Jets in the over, plus 215, Avs in the over, 5.5, both of those, plus 200, and then the Canes in the under, 5.5, which was plus 160. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to get any of these.
4-1, yeah. Oh, man.
No, I'm not going to get any of these today, but Friday.
Well, you will if you don't put money on them.
Exactly. That's the key to everything. Just don't put any money on it. So, I don't know. We'll see. But today, all on the ice again. I'm going first up with the Canadiens and the Capitals. They're in Washington. I got to go with Washington Capitals in this one. And I don't know. I'll take the over in that 5.5. That's plus 160.
All right. We're going to start with the LA Kings hosting the Edmonton Oilers tonight. I love the Kings in the series. Kings have I think one of, if not the best defense in the NHL. Kings minus a goal and a half, under 5.5. That is plus 520.
Okay. See, I'm kind of on the same-ish path with you. I'm taking the Kings in that one as well, but I'm going to take the over 5.5 because I know both of these teams can really get score happy. So those together is plus 225.
All right, I'm going to give you another NHL game. I like Montreal to win game 1 in Washington. Oh. I think the Canadiens are going to be hard for the Capitals to catch. Washington has not played great of late. Really big team. Montreal is really fast.
Yeah.
It's like the bug that runs through the kitchen you try to squash.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You're not as quick as the bug.
20 legs.
We're going to just have a little fun and go the Canadiens to win and Ivan Demidov to score.
Oh.
And that is plus 530.
Ooh, okay. Well, I like it when you make it extra spicy.
Demidov is plus 310 anytime goal score.
Oh, all right. Well, last up for me, the Avs in Dallas. Still, they're already up 1, so give me the Avs to make it up 2-0. Because also sad Mikko Rantanen. So let's go with the Avs.
I cry for him.
I know.
I cry for him.
Him and his girlfriend. So to give me the Avs in the under 6.5, that's plus 185.
All right, Nottingham Forest and Tottenham today in the Premier League. By the way, Tottenham's next match after this will be at Anfield, where Liverpool can clinch the Premier League title with 4 matches left to play after that. We're going to have a draw in this match today, plus 250.
Love a draw.
Is a draw. Yeah, it's what Mondays in the Premier League are for. A draw. Not of the Scribe on the NBA playoffs next hour.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
You've been to all those fancy driving range experiences, but you need closer to the real thing. Adam Gold here. What you need is X Golf in Cary. High-end simulator play. Food, drinks, fun, maybe even a date night, even serious competition. Buddy of mine plays in a league there, and he loves it. Memberships are available, all levels of player, all ages. North Carolina's premier indoor golf experience, and there is a PGA professional on site. Online, playxgolf.com/Cary. playxgolf.com/Cary.
Child abuse. It happens in all communities. Learning to spot the signs of abuse and knowing how to report it can save a child's life. Children's Advocacy Centers of North Carolina supports over 50 centers statewide, providing hope and healing to young victims of abuse, neglect, and trauma. Join us in the fight against child abuse. Visit cacnc.org to learn more. That's cacnc.org.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Interest rates have plummeted. It's time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. If you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks, and most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at this, Loan Pronto. LoanPronto.com or call 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Struggling to get the sleep treatment you need? I'm Megan Giggling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. You shouldn't have to wait for better sleep. Our streamlined process provides for sleep studies, CPAP machines, and supplies, without the long delays you'll find at other sleep centers. At Parkway Sleep, we'll help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve.
With over 20 years of experience, join countless satisfied customers who have discovered the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Parenting is hard. Technology can make it harder. The Family Media Plan developed by the American Academy of Pediatrics helps make it easier. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan today to create the media plan that's right for your family.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's not to say our guys weren't ready to withstand a playoff level basketball game. We were mentally ready. I thought our spirit was right. I thought even when they made runs, the communication was great. I'm not sure physically we were ready. Really, when they started playing with a lot of thrust and physicality, we just didn't respond immediately to that. And then that stretch from the start of the second through 4 or 5 minutes to go in the third, we lost that stretch by 34. So that's a blowout.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. Konata Edwards on the NBA playoffs coming up in about 15 minutes. He will join us tomorrow on the program. What did I just say? On the program.
Are we going to have Froyo?
We should.
We should.
Sorry. Eric Cole will join us tomorrow. We're going to talk NFL draft with Chris McClain from WFNZ in Charlotte. We will go through the best draft picks in Panthers history by round.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Smith was a third-round pick, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's pretty much handles that draft.
Yeah.
Or that round. Martin Biron, former NHL goalie, played for a lot of teams, mostly the Sabres. I think he ended his career with the New York Rangers. But we'll talk goaltending. We'll ask him about Frederik Andersen tomorrow. Also, Ryan Wilson from CBS Sports as we get ready for the draft, which is Thursday. All right. Before we talk hoops with Nada, it is time for the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
I know you're not going to believe it. We all thought he would be back for at least one more year. Cooper Flagg declared for the NBA draft.
What?
Yes, exactly. And he did so on Instagram.
Duke fans, my teammates, the brotherhood, and everybody that was along for this journey. It was an incredible year, probably the best year of my life. And I have so much gratitude. And I feel so blessed for all the opportunities that I was given. Duke has always been a dream for me, but I'm excited to announce that I'll be entering my name into the 2025 NBA draft. Today is just the beginning, but I have the brotherhood with me for life.
So he said it was probably the best year of his life. He doesn't have many to choose from.
No, he really doesn't.
He's only had 18 of them.
Right.
And I'll bet there's 5 of them he doesn't even remember.
Nope.
What's the earliest you remember anything?
Yes, he was probably around, 5, I would think. Maybe 4 or 5.
Trying to think what I remember. If there's anything specific I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first time I'm really aware of anything was kindergarten, so I was probably 5.
Yeah. I think that's common.
Yeah, or maybe 6.
Some people say when they were 2, and that's just a lie.
I'd have been in first grade. Who knows? So we don't have that many. He doesn't have many years to choose from.
No, and part of that was COVID. Nobody's picking COVID.
COVID was a great year.
Yeah.
Look, if you invested in Zoom,
oh, that was a good year. Yes.
You had a good year during COVID.
Yep.
All right, here's Cooper Flagg's head coach, John Shire.
Really proud of Cooper for the special season that he had this year. I think the accolades speak for itself with what he did, winning every National Player of the Year award. His highlights, his statistics, the ways he impacted the game on both ends of the floor, really in every category, was off the charts. As good of a freshman season that the guys had here. But to me, the separator and the joy of coaching Cooper is the person he was every day, the teammate that he was, never about statistics or anything other than creating an environment and helping his team to win. And we won a lot of games, and had a lot of success. And a lot of times that environment is created from your best player. And Cooper did an incredible job in every facet of our program, on and off the court with what he's done.
He was an amazing player, both ends. He won everything in terms of awards. He was the Naismith Player of the Year, Wooden Player of the Year, ACC Player of the Year, ACC Rookie of the Year. He won the award for the best small forward in the country, the Julius Erving Award. I mean, he won everything. He should have been the Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. I'm sorry. He was the best defender in the league. It's laughable they didn't win, but whatever. He won the two major ones. He was the best player in college basketball. It's, in some ways, too bad he didn't win the national championship. Certainly could have won that game against Houston and put themselves in the position to beat Florida on that Monday night. But that's not what happened. They had to wear that. I'm sure Cooper didn't love not making a shot that he probably has made 100 times in his life. And I know John Shire, at some point we'll talk to him, and I'm sure there are moments in that game, if they go back and watch, where he will go, should have done this instead of that. Not getting in any way specific on this, but I know there will be points in the game where John Shire said, I wish I had done something different there. Not just playing revisionist history, but simply saying this would have been a better move than that. With all of that said, it's hard to win. It is flat out hard to win. Stephen A. Smith on Flag the Prospect.
I love the kid. I think he's the number one overall pick in this upcoming draft. I don't think there's any question about it. The only blemish on his career is there was 4 times that he had a chance to win a game, and he failed all 4 times, but that's just the last play, the game-winning shot. That happens. You certainly miss more than you make. Even the greatest of them all has done that. We understand that. But in the end, being 6'8", 6'9", his ball handling, his passing skills, his shot-making ability from short range, long range, can play with his back to the basket, facing the basket, plus he'll defend, plus he'll block shots. This brother is the total package, and he is going to be the number one overall pick in this upcoming NBA draft. It is no secret what he was going to do because there's no reason for him not to. He's that dude.
Yeah, all of that. All of that is true. Best player I've ever seen at Duke. Best player I've ever seen at Duke. Best combination of all the potential skills you could have. The only player that is close to him is Grant Hill. Grant Hill was not this as a freshman. Grant Hill, by the time he became a senior, was Cooper Flag. But it took him 4 years to get that. And I'm not sure that even in the last year he was as good shooting the ball from the three-point line as Flag is. But again, best player. If I was naming a all-time Duke starting 5, Flag would be on it. Now, it's been good, that starting 5, so I really don't know who I'd kick off of it. But Flag would... Somebody's got to go to make room for Cooper Flag on the all-time Duke starting 5. All right, last night at Lenovo Center, or yesterday afternoon at Lenovo Center. By the way, shouts to Caniacs. I got to the arena at noon yesterday for the 3 o'clock game. I'm not saying there were as many tailgates as there would have been had it not been like, the holiest day of the year for some people. And the Hurricanes did not want to have that game on Sunday. They begged the NHL to let them start Monday. That was not going to happen. But there were tons of tailgaters out there.
Nice.
It was a great Great fan showing on an Easter Sunday.
Good job.
So,
everyone.
yes, shouts to all of the Caniacs who showed out for Game 1. And it was a great building. It was a great building. On the low, I would say that the Hurricanes fans had a bit of a Sebastian Aho-like season. It was good. It wasn't great. Playoffs.
The last night was great.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're back.
Yes.
We're back, baby. All right, real quick, last night, 2 best players, at least among the forwards. Taylor Hall, 2 assists. Logan Stankoven, 2 goals. Here's the head coach.
Both of those guys were, really impactful tonight. Obviously on the goals, that's kind of the obvious one. But you're right, Halsey had really that was a great pass, but he had a bunch of other opportunities and that he created basically on his own. So, those are two great additions for us.
Think about, it's hard for trade deadline acquisitions to really matter. In most cases, not at all. Their contributions in terms of tangible, goals, assists, saves, in most cases, trade deadline acquisitions don't make great impact. Jake Gensel was he was good for Carolina last year, but Jake Gensel didn't come in here and light the world on fire. What he did was he fit in. He looked very much like Jarvis, Aho, the players he was playing with. Dynamite player. Love Jake Gensel. But he didn't come in here and go, 14 goals in 13 games. Logan Stankoven didn't really have that impact either. Mark Jankowski did. 8 goals in 19 games. Taylor Hall didn't have that type of an impact really during the regular season. He actually produced points at a lesser rate with Carolina than he did with Chicago, which some people might find hard to believe. But it isn't just about the production, it's about how you play. Stankoven looks perfect for here. I think Taylor Hall has looked the part of somebody Carolina wants to keep around.
Hope they do.
And I think they will.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he was excellent all game yesterday. Carolina got really good performances throughout the lineup. It was one of those games where, Carolina's ready. Maybe the Devils weren't as much. We'll see if that changes tomorrow in Game 2. Konata Edwards, we'll see if the Lakers put up a better, not effort, because I don't think it was about effort. Maybe it was. See if the Lakers play better in Game 2, or maybe they won't. And did the Warriors surprise him at all yesterday? Next.
From the heels,
touchdown Carolina,
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Let's go! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, you'll get the Jarvis goal!
Let's go, Canes!
The Chetkov, stop! It's on the goal line behind him! He does a snow angel in the paint!
Go, Canes!
Playoff hockey in Raleigh is something that you can't describe, and it's because of you. So we want to be here.
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
We all want more for North Carolina. More boundless views, more adventures in the outdoors, and more clean roads to get there. But to get more, we have to do less. Less littering, that is. Make it your nature to trash your trash and keep NC clean. And we'll all have more reasons to love North Carolina. Litter less, get more. For more on the 7 outdoor NC Leave No Trace principles, visit OutdoorNC.com. Sponsored by the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters and Visit North Carolina, a part of the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina in cooperation with this station.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
Are you suffering from chronic joint pain or just struggling with daily activities because of discomfort in your knees, back, or other parts of your body? Well, I've got great news. It's called DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, a solution that can help you get back to feeling like yourself again without the risks of invasive surgery or long-term prescription drug use. DaVita Med Spa and Wellness is a regenerative medicine clinic. Their innovative treatment options address the root cause of your pain to promote healing and prevent re-injury for long-lasting pain relief. If you have arthritis, joint pain, sports injuries, or other conditions, their highly trained medical providers will develop a cutting-edge treatment plan tailored just for you with little to no downtime. DaVita Med Spa and Wellness can get you back to doing the things you love. Call DaVita Med Spa and Wellness today, spelled DVIDA. Call 984-333-1313, 984-333-1313, 984-333-1313.
A few contest rules from sports radio stations The Fan, The Buzz. No purchase necessary, 21 to enter and play. Limited to one entry per person and one prize winner per family or household per contest every 30 days. Employees of Capital Broadcasting, its agencies, sponsors, subsidiaries, other broadcast companies, and immediate families of the above are ineligible to play. Winners are verified, complete documentation, and are responsible for all taxes and prizes received. All prizes are non-transferable and cannot be redeemed for cash. Winners give sports radio the right to publicize his or her name, likeness, or voice. Sports may change contest rules and prizes at any time and holds no liability for canceled or postponed events. Complete info of sports radio contests available at WRALSportsFan.com or during normal business hours at 3100 Highwoods Boulevard in Raleigh.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
This is Adam Gold.
But whenever you say, well, we're not using this as an excuse, no, you are. Whether it's justifiable or not can be a different discussion, but you are.
It's like the equivalent of saying no offense, but ...
Offense coming.
Yeah, get ready for it.
Look out. Here we come with some offense for you.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and the Warriors won in Houston yesterday. Actually, I think it was the last game of the evening. That is, I guess, an upset. The Warriors are the 7 seed, the Rockets the 2 seed. But with playoff Jimmy before yesterday, the Warriors were 24-7. That doesn't sound like a 7 seed to me. Konata Edwards, not a scribe on Twitter, CBSSports.com, joins me on the Adam Gold Show. Almost feel like the Rockets have been done dirty by the system because, again, with Jimmy Butler in the lineup, the Warriors are playing at a higher clip than all but I think, 3 teams in the league?
Basically, but the thing is, this is also on the league because if we remember, Jimmy Butler could be had by anybody, including Houston. Houston could have solidified their title case and been like, okay, we can go get a Jimmy Butler that'll put us over the top, that'll give us something against an OKC or against an LA Lakers team in the second round if they got that far, to where if they did that, they'd be fine. But no, they chose not to. So at the same point, it's not fair to Houston, but at the same point, like, this could have been prevented.
Well, it could have been prevented by the Rockets, but I go back to the time where Jimmy Butler had attituded his way out of Miami.
Fair.
And there was like zero indication that this was going to happen. I thought the Warriors took a leap of faith.
Well,
right?
I'm not sure. Is it really a leap of faith, or is it like a leap of desperation? Like, they had to do something. Golden State had to do something.
No, that's why I said it was a leap of faith. Like, if it doesn't work out, all right, we're bad. You know, we'll maybe we make the play-in tournament. Maybe we don't, but you know, we'll retool. The following year, and try to get something out of the last year. You know, how many years Steph Curry has left. So it was an easier shot for them than a team like Houston, who was, playing so well with so many good young players, to, even break up some of the core in order to bring in Butler.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, how many of those guys are, like, because look at Memphis right now.
Right.
Memphis is on the opposite end of getting their doors blown off.
Holy cow.
And remember, they were, a couple of years ago, John Morant and everybody, I'm good in the West. I'm this, I'm that. And then you see how things change, right? You could have a really good playoff core or a good young core and then realize, oh, my God, it's not the thing I thought. It's not what I pictured here right now.
All right, put yourself, real quick, put yourself in the position of, we're hosting, you and I are hosting in Houston. It's January, and it's actually earlier. It's probably November when Jimmy Butler started putting his rear end on his shoulders down in Miami. Put yourself in position then, with the Rockets playing well. Would you have advocated for a trade for him? You would?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
man, you have a crystal ball?
No, not even that. It's not even that. It's not. Here's the thing. Not even that. I don't appreciate what Jimmy Butler does, but the one thing I know he does is he shows up in the playoffs and he gets you at least 1 or 2 rounds. He's good enough to get you 1 or 2. Like, that's the thing about him. As bad as you think he may be, or that, again, it's as terribly as it's always going to end, like, he's going to get you a round or 2. And for a team that young, with guys like Jalen Green that kind of know how to play but don't really know how to figure it out, for a guy like Alperen Şengün, who is a dynamite, like might be baby Jokic, like that good. Like, you just needed that one guy to make sure that you got past the Lakers and probably were going to be in a rock fight with OKC.
Right.
You needed that guy. If you were going to be that good and if you were going to take those kind of steps to take the next step to get Jimmy Butler. Now, granted, the price in November was absolutely not what the price was going to be in January.
Right.
So would I've paid for it in November? Maybe not. But as the closer we got to the deadline, the more it kind of made sense for Houston.
So do you think Jimmy Butler, as he was he was sizing up Şengün on the shot, the 19-footer that basically ended do you think he was saying, you guys could have had me then, and now I'm sending you home? He probably was. What do you make of what he has done for the Warriors? He has seemingly right now they're on the opposite side of OKC. They won't have to deal with that. I mean, they could be sitting in the Western Conference Finals very easily.
Yes, they could. And the only thing is, are they going to get past a Minnesota team that has size? And that's the one thing that we noticed with Memphis. Memphis gave Golden State a whole bunch of trouble in that playing game because they were bigger and stronger. If Minnesota gets past the Lakers, and I'm not saying that's a guarantee right now.
You did just a second ago. You just put the Warriors and the Timberwolves against each other.
I kind of did because the way those two teams won does not make me feel good about the others. Like, it was one of those things where you could see it's easily replicable. Like, and I hate to dissuade from this. I hate to distract from the question that you asked, but the ease that the Lakers gave up open threes to Minnesota, even if they're not a great shooting team, was way too easy for them to get those points.
Yeah.
The way that Anthony Edwards got whatever he wanted on the switch against Luka or whomever he wanted, not a good sign. Nickeil Alexander-Walker having a game where that's easily replicable. Or next time it might be Jaden McDaniels. Or maybe Mike Conley turns back the clock. Those kind of games are the things that make you worry about it. It's the same thing with Houston and Golden State to a degree, where that, again, we didn't even get the Steph game yet. We're going to get one or two of those.
Right.
Those are coming. That's the problem with what the Houston Rockets, and they just look like a team that had a tough time scoring in the regular season, are going to have an even tougher time, especially with the fouls not being called nearly as much. At some point, they're going to have to start scoring in bunches, and they can't do it right now.
Konata Edwards, CBS Sports, is joining us here in the Adam Gold Show at Not of the Scribe on Twitter. When you said the Steph game, you know where it took me? I mean, I kid you not. You said
Boston?
No. It took me to the Olympics.
Yes.
When Steph I'm sorry, we are winning the gold medal. I am taking all of the gold medals. That's where it took me, because we hadn't gotten any of that until the semifinals in the Olympic basketball tournament. Are the Lakers? I mean, you sort of alluded to it, but are the Lakers in trouble because they can't defend Minnesota?
Yes, but it's a multi-phase problem. One, like outside of Dorian Finney-Smith and maybe Austin Reeves, who do you trust to actually guard their man for the Lakers right now?
Only LeBron.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
And then on top of that, name me the big man you trust on the Lakers.
Kareem.
Exactly. And Kareem is older than both of us combined.
He's working he's got an ice cream truck in the Capital One commercials.
Absolutely.
I like that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, those two problems are big problems, and it's kind of why they traded for Mark Williams and then realized they checked the Carfax on Mark Williams and realized we can't do that. Now, again, they may go revisit that in the summer. Who knows? But needless to say, they have a problem. They have a big man problem, and I don't know how they solve it. Unfortunately, this was going to be a problem all year, and Chris Finch is good enough a coach to where he's going to exploit every single fix that J.J. Redick can throw out there. He's going to fix, because this is not a scheme problem. This is a roster problem that's going to dictate a scheme problem at the end of the day.
This is what I thought was going to be a problem for them when they made the trade, but they won so many games, they looked so good that it really wasn't a problem until I guess it was going to be a problem. And just on the low, I actually would love to taste cookies and Kareem as an ice cream. I would love to taste that. Not of the Scribe is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. So the Thunder won by about $1 billion over the Grizzlies. The game wasn't really a game. It was a glorified scrimmage.
That was an enjoy your Easter meal. That was an enjoy your Easter meal game.
I mean,
you can get a whole bunch of brownie points, hanging out with the family, look at the TV, and then be like, oh, that's interesting, and then go back, enjoy your Easter meal, pretend that you care about your family, and then by the time the real game started, then you could go pay your full attention to that.
That was, I mean, I don't even know what to make of something like that, other than we're going to be here. I mean, maybe Memphis, like, we'll see what happens in Game 2. I sometimes I hesitate to put too much emphasis, too much importance on the first game of a series. But, man, 50 points is 50 points in a playoff game. And even if, I mean, Memphis could play twice as well as they just played and get blown and just get completely blown out. Because if you lose by 50, you probably could have lost by 80.
And probably should have if they played their entire start. But what I would tell you, Adam, is that part of that is the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies had to play 2 extra games because they did not handle business and get a top 6 seed. The NBA play-in is working, and that's not a point that we should argue. But also at the same point, this was a team that did fire their coach 2 weeks before this happened. Things like this are going to happen when you change the continuity in the 8th inning. Like, these things do happen.
Right.
So, again, for me, this just tells me that Memphis has a lot of changes that they're going to make in the offseason. And I don't know if that's trading Ja. I don't know if that's trading Jaren Jackson Jr. I like Zach Edey. He looks completely out of place in this series. There's a lot of this where just they're in transition. They're in the midst of finding themselves after thinking they found themselves with 2 top 5 picks that have just hit dynamitely. And now the evolution, the league has figured them both out, and now it's a little bit easy against a team that is loaded to the gills with first-round picks and is still loaded with first-round picks when things get too expensive. And they might be the best team in the league right now.
Konata Edwards, not a describe, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show, a team that also changed their head coach with 14 minutes before the end of the regular season. The Nuggets were a very narrow winner in Game 1 at home to the Los Angeles Clippers, who they also might – the Clippers could come out of that side of the bracket too. We could be looking at Kawhi versus Steph in the Western Conference Finals and be looking for a calendar to find out what year it is.
Yes.
What do you make of that series? And I have one other series I want to ask you before we have to say goodbye.
That is a series that I never thought, again, the Russell Westbrook roller coaster, where he potentially wins them the game, potentially costs them a game, wins them the game again, and then nearly costs them again. Like, the Russell Westbrook roller coaster alone was worth watching.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But Kawhi and Harden having as many turnovers as they did, like 26 points, again, the Denver Nuggets turned, like, I want to say 16 of their turnovers into 26 points. That in a game that almost went to double OT. I think that's a big thing. They cut down the turnovers. Your stars have to be your stars. They got to cut down the turnovers. Harden was great in Game 1, turned the ball over too much. Kawhi Leonard wasn't so great, but I'm waiting for one of those two. Like, I'm waiting for the Kawhi Leonard game. I'm waiting for that. But that being said, I think the death of the Denver Nuggets is a little bit exaggerated. I think there's a good chance we might see Jokic versus OKC, and if that's the case, that's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, no question about it. By the way, there's always the longest line for the Westbrook roller coaster. I mean,
oldest ride, longest lines. There's a reason why it's a very popular line.
That's right. And you have to be taller than the bottom of the sign in order to ride it. All right, final thing. The Knicks needed a 21-0 run to beat the Pistons. 21-0. Like, look, I'm sort of a Knicks fan. Like, I grew up a Knicks fan. I'm not, super into it.
You haven't been able to wash that stain out of the shirt. I understand.
Yeah, it's not like Jets fan. Jets fan, that's easy. That's easy to get rid of.
Exactly.
The Knicks have been, like, flirting with being good now for a while. I mean, they're legitimately good. They're the 3rd seed in the East. But I think Detroit is just I think Detroit is one of those teams that has an eerie confidence about it. I just wonder what the impact is of having a game you think you've got and not getting it, and then what happens in Game 2.
I thought that this was going to be the series where it was going to be Detroit in 6 or Detroit in 7. Then you blow that game, and then on top of that, Isaiah Stewart is now hurt. I have concerns that this series is going to end a lot quicker than we think, and the Knicks, who only play 6 or 7 guys, might end up getting a lot of rest for their second-round opponent. That's the concern I have right now. And against a team in Boston that is probably going to dispatch Orlando fairly quickly, I think that is also going to help them. So that 21-0 run can't happen under any circumstance, no matter how young you are, no matter how new you are to the playoffs. Unfortunately, it happened to Detroit, and that's one of those series defining. This series ended right now. I would not be surprised if the Knicks handle them and dispatch it in 5.
Yeah, it could end up happening that way. Tough for a young team like that to blow a lead. Knicks Boston would be a fun second round series for
who?
For 5 games.
Who?
For Boston.
I was about to say.
For Boston. Yeah, the Knicks will I don't think the Knicks can handle that series. Konata Edwards, my man, not a describe on Twitter. Thank you very much, my friend. You were stunned that Cooper Flagg declared for the NBA draft, weren't you?
I was so stunned.
Yeah.
I was so stunned that man made an obvious $40 million decision. So obvious. So stunned that he did
Exactly.
that. He chose the money.
Exactly. Oh, man. You're the best. I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon, man.
You got it. Cooper Flagg declared for the draft. Konata Edwards did not make a $40 million decision to come on this show.
Even though he's worth it.
He's absolutely.
We just don't have
If I had $40 million, I would give it to him just to come on the show. All right, when we come back, we will rewind. Tripp Tracy joined us earlier. We talked about the Andre experience, but also just how good Carolina was in goal. Who would you start? Who would you start tomorrow in Game 2? I would start Pyotr Kochetkov. I'll tell you why. Then we'll rewind next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar, now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Are you struggling with your Medicare drug costs? The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program may be able to help. The Extra Help and Medicare savings programs are available for those who qualify, but you have to apply. Contact SHIP today to see if you qualify. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
It's okay not to be okay. Feelings of loneliness, anger, and worry are completely normal, and you're not alone. If you need help coping, call, text, or chat the free 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Someone is always there to talk, day or night. Together, we will find the care that works for you. Just call, text, or chat 988 anytime to talk to a trained counselor who will listen, provide support, and connect you to other resources that can help. Let's get through it together. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Your background may not include agriculture, but 2 years at the Agricultural Institute will prepare you for a career in it. Whether you are a military veteran with an arsenal of skills, kickstarting your second career, or about to graduate high school, the Agricultural Institute at NC State University is the right place for you. Nurture your passion and find your career. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. Deadline for fall enrollment is June 1st. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
From the mountains to the coast, there is tremendous pride in North Carolina agriculture. NC Forever Farms is a program recognizing family farms that are protecting precious working lands vital to the future of agriculture. Through permanent agricultural conservation easements, these NC Forever Farms will always be protected from development. Learn more about preserving family farms through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services by visiting ncadfp.org.
I was in the hospital with my son for 18 months.
When he got injured, I wasn't prepared, but I knew I had to be strong.
When I was told about John's injury, I was in complete shock. I just remember rushing into his room and giving him a big hug and letting him know I was there.
These veterans and families are just a few of the heroes we serve at Homes for Our Troops. For thousands of severely injured veterans, everyday life is filled with barriers.
It was really the little things throughout the house. Counters that you can't roll up to. I had to drag my wheelchair down steps.
I want to help, but he is so determined.
At Homes for Our Troops, we build specially adapted custom homes with features like wheelchair access, roll-in showers, and automatic door openers that allow them to function independently and focus on their recovery and family.
This house is freedom. It's hope. It's a new beginning.
This house has given me my family back.
To learn more, visit hfotusa.org.
This is Adam Gold.
He said he could talk about his golf game. He did say it wasn't great, and I said, hey, no judgment here. I'm a drive shacker and a putt-putter myself.
None of us are good. Even those of us that are good aren't really good.
Right, yeah.
We're just not.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm going to rewind in a minute. Tripp Tracy joined us earlier. Talk a little bit about Game 1 and then look ahead to Game 2. Before we do that, two areas I want to get to very quickly. One, Ian Jackson, guard for North Carolina, who entered the transfer portal, committed to St. John's today. He's a New Yorker. Totally makes sense. I love the fact, as a kid who grew up in the New York area and loving to watch St. John's basketball, back in the early 80s, the heyday of Big East basketball. The fact that a city school today could be so good, is remarkable based on no city schools are good. Georgetown is a city school, no good. DePaul, who used to be great as a city school in Chicago, no good. The city schools are no good anymore. The only city-ish school that's been good is Villanova in Philadelphia, but that's not really in the city. Mainline, it's kind of in the wealthy suburbs of Philadelphia. Anyway, it's cool to see St. John's back. And that just to me is awesome. Pitino has done an amazing job there. But I guess we would have expected that because Rick Pitino is, on the short list of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. North Carolina also found that Van Allen Lubin was entering the transfer portal, which I guess based on the players that they have brought in that basically play his position, I get it. He wants to play. He's not going to play as much this year or this upcoming year as he did a year ago. He had a very good year, and I think he'll be a good addition for somebody. Maybe not at the highest, on the highest rung of the college basketball ladder, but whether it's a team in the middle of the pack of a power league or a team, in a slightly smaller league that can offer a lot of playing time for a kind of an undersized center. But so Van Allen Lubin entered the transfer portal. So those two things. Now, back to hockey. ESPN ranked the top 50 players in the playoffs. And I don't want to invalidate the list, but I'm about to. We've all watched enough hockey to know that there aren't 39 players better than Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers. No way. There aren't 39 players in the entire league better than Alexander Barkov. Zero chance of that. One of those players who would probably, I think, everybody would raise an eyebrow, Sebastian Aho. Sebastian Aho was ranked 19th. I'm not arguing that. What I am arguing is that Alexander Barkov is probably a better player than Sebastian Aho, and I love Aho. It's an insane list. If Barkov is 40th on the list, he is one spot below Seth Jarvis, who I think Jarvis, I don't know if 39th is fair or not. Maybe should be a little higher. Don't know. But I saw that. I'm like, come on. I want to give this list validity because it has Aho as the 19th best player, and you put Barkov at 40th, and I'm not sure I can do that anymore. I'm not sure this list matters at all. And Jacob Slavin's not in the top 50 players in the playoffs, which, oh boy, we must be just looking at scoring. We're not, but it must have such an impact on the overall output of this that if you are not a scorer or a goalie, then you're not on the list. All right. Is what it is. By the way, if you're interested, here are the top 10. We can laugh. Connor Hellebuck, okay, I get it. He was the best goalie in the league, and he has been, arguably, for the last 3 years, the best goalie in the NHL. Regular season, playoffs different. Nathan McKinnon was second. Leon Draisaitl third. Nikita Kucherov fourth. Cale Makar fifth. Connor McDavid sixth. Andre Vasilevsky seventh. Austin Matthews 8. Mikko Rantanen 9. Currently not playing like the 9th best player in the playoffs. I will admit. But historically speaking, because this list encompasses the last several years, Mikko Rantanen 9th, and it was not. I put an initial down. William Nylander is 10th. Sebastian Aho came 19th. I will say this. Somebody said to me on Twitter, we have to all come to grips with the fact that Seth Jarvis is better than Sebastian Aho. And I just said, that might be a true statement. I'm not arguing with it or denying it. In fact, I happen to think that it might be true that Jarvis is a better player than Aho. Aho doesn't, they have different responsibilities. Obviously, one is a center, one is a wing, which makes Aho's job a little bit more difficult, but regardless. But we shouldn't be saying that as a negative to Aho. My point would be, if Jarvis is better than Aho, which maybe, that is good for Carolina. Not bad, because Aho isn't better than Jarvis. The whole point, I've said this for a while, I want to see a Carolina team where Sebastian Aho isn't their best player. Because I think when we get to that point, the Hurricanes will be awesome. I think the Hurricanes are a great team. But I think there's another level for them to get to.
Yeah.
When Aho, who I have always likened to former Capital center Nick Backstrom, when Aho isn't the best player, when they've got a player or two who you would say, man, those two guys are the best players, and let Aho just continue to be great at what he does.
Yeah.
He is a great all-around player. He is not a guy who can take over a game or a series. He can certainly go on scoring binges. We'd love to see a scoring binge. I say
always
toward the end of the Devils series into the beginning of the second round series is where I would like to see the Aho scoring binge start.
That'd be nice.
And have it go on for like 12 games.
Yeah. I just had this conversation yesterday that I'm really excited about next season, considering this was supposed to be a rebuild year. But with these new guys, like Bradley Nadeau, we've got Nikishin coming eventually. If we've got Hall still here, all these new Jackson Blake, I mean, there's so much promise and potential. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. No, and wait till the big kid gets ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. He's not yet ready to play. I know Hurricanes fans might have seen Zeev Buim. Well, I know I mispronounced his name. Hotshot rookie defenseman play his first NHL game last night for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Against Vegas, and go, why? And I explained it the other day, and I explained it on Twitter. it's really hard when you cannot communicate the language. And the system is different that Carolina uses and puts a lot of pressure on communication. So when he gets up to speed, he would at least be an option, but they're not making any sort of changes. By the way, he's not on the roster.
Yeah.
I noticed this yesterday when I was looking at the roster for the Hurricanes. He's not listed. And it's because he might end up going to Chicago to play some AHL playoff games, and they wouldn't be allowed to do that because if he signs his NHL contract.
I did love that Rod video with him, though, when he was trying to communicate.
Yeah, you speak hockey.
And he was like, it's okay. You don't need to know this. You know hockey. And I was like, oh, heartstrings. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. All right, quick rewind. All right, two things. Start with Andre. Last night, game 1, or yesterday afternoon, game 1. I thought that this was the game that Andrei Svechnikov needs to play every game of the playoffs. The points will come. Right, Tripp, Tracy?
Oh, AG, he's been an empty net magician in his career.
Yes, he has.
So he scored a ton of them. I don't remember another empty net goal where he was anywhere near as deserving to be the guy that got it than yesterday. So that's the first thing that I think about. But then, I think about, obviously, he stayed out of the penalty box.
Yep.
But then, let's just look at when that happens late in the second period with his good friend but opponent, Dougie Hamilton. Then he's got a chance in transition in the third period. And you could see the way Hamilton played it. This was the beginning of the sequence that led to the Luke Hughes injury and then the Cody Glass injury on the Markstrom slash. Dougie was trying to finish Andre. And Andre made a great pass, I believe, to Taylor Hall in the slot. And we've often talked about, aside from the physical dimension, which is obvious, and you knew that switch would be very apparent now that it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. The straw that has to stir Andre's drink, yes, you want to see him shoot the puck with confidence and the threat level that he did in Ottawa for that power play goal on Thursday. But I've often thought that it's his ability to distribute the puck, holding on to it, seeing the open ice. And so he knows Hamilton's coming in to try to finish him. He makes a great pass to the slot. So there were a bunch of things that left a real impact on the game for number 37 in game 1.
It was exciting to see that. He is the player that can help take Carolina's game up a level. I may hate to put that kind of pressure on Andre. They don't have any others like him. They don't. Not that blend of size and speed. And if he can get his game right, man, Carolina's just that much better for it. All right, goaltending. Frederik Andersen was really good last night. The one goal we can debate all day long. To me, it's a savable goal. Didn't like that it came at the end of the second period either. Regardless, Freddie put it behind him and was great. I would like to see Pyotr Kochetkov in game 2 because you're going to need him in this series. He's going to play either game 3 or 4 anyway. I'd let him get on the ice in game 2. What say you, Tripp Tracy?
Okay, so just a quick mention. When you mentioned Kokniemi in the face-off circle, who's the guy that he lost the majority of his draws to that got slashed by his own goaltender? Might be hurt. Cody Glass.
Right.
Okay? So that's just a quick piggyback on that dimension. You can make a valid argument for both guys in game 2. Myself, just thinking about the fact that the Devils have had such a tough time in Carolina's building and how the series will be perceived, 1-1 versus 2-0 Carolina going to New Jersey, and the way that Freddie immediately moved on from that tough goal and had a super third period. Again, I'll say there's an argument to be made for both sides, and you are 1,000% right. You've got to get Kochetkov in. Myself, I'd go back to Anderson tomorrow with the massive opportunity to get up 2-0 in the series. You could probably argue, partner, that if they play the way that they did, all you need is, once again, solid goaltending.
Yep.
It's very argumentative. I said I'd go with Anderson again, but where I'm sharing the exact same concept that you have, whether you win or lose tomorrow, with me going with Anderson, I would go with Kochetkov in Game 3.
All right, here's why. Just to reiterate the point, Kochetkov's got to play one of the two in New Jersey. He has been far better at home than he has been on the road. Your chances of winning at home are greater than on the road because you control the matchups. It gives Kochetkov a better chance to get his game more in order, playing at home, and I don't think it would be the worst. Carolina could win the game and not even need their goalie to do anything significant. Freddie had to make some good saves last night. There's no doubt. Freddie had to make some very good saves. The save he makes on Timo Meier in the third period, it's not a game saver because it wouldn't have tied the game. It would have made it 3-2. But think about what the game is like with 10 minutes of time in a 3-2 game. It's a completely different feeling than after that save, keeping the puck out. But for me, I want to see Kochetkov get in some sort of a rhythm so he can play. And I think it gives you a best chance to be 3-1 up heading back to Game 5, maybe even sweep the series. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Victoria, thank you very much. Game 2 is tomorrow. Bye.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes.